Okay. What's up, everyone? Hope that you can all hear me.
Greetings.
Greetings,
Greetings,
Hotep.
sister.
Greetings.
Sister Patricia.
Greetings, beautiful shares. Marvina.
Hey. Great to see you, and you, Cole. And you're on time. Well done, you.
Okay, brilliant. Wonderful. Almost got a full house. Well, Hotep and greetings, everyone, and welcome to the Garvey Villages. Let me see. Unlock the chains and keep well, where we give, well, our guest presenters give us the remedies and keys, and we are on week 51. So we are moving up the scale. We're getting older. We're getting older. And today's going to be a different, slightly different Garvey village, because we'll be introducing a new segment to the Garvey village. But before I do that, I'm going to start off with libation. And yes, by last Monday, when we had a women's spiritual event, where we joined with Love Halo, with Sister Kasheni, I was told to use natural products to do libation. So I've got my calabash. You can see my calabash. I got my calabash to pour my libation. So if you want to pour libation with me, you can get some water, get a bowl, so that you can actually pour your libation to give thanks to our ancestors. Who's that? Okay.
It's Marvina. She's trying to hide. It's Marvina.
Marvina, what was you doing? You played a cello or something?
Yeah, stay on mute, Marv. Yeah, you're all right now. Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we first of all give thanks to the Divine One, the Ludamari, the creator of all things, creatures great and small, creator of the earth that we stand upon, the air that we breathe, the sunshine that gives us life, and also the rain and water that gives us life as well. So I give thanks to the Divine One, the creator of all things, the Ludamari. I also give thanks to our Ori, which is our head that gives us the intuition. So give thanks to, as I said, your Ori. And also now start to give thanks to our ancestors. Our ancestors I give thanks to are the ancestors got taken away from the shores of our home and dotted all around the world. The trials and the tribulations that they went through to me is unimaginable. So I give thanks for their tenacity. I give thanks for their strength. I give thanks for their willingness to carry on and to continue throughout everything that they've seen, witnessed, their friends being, lives being taken, friends and family and people who they don't know taking their own lives because they don't want to go through what was in store for them. So I give thanks for those ancestors who persevered, because if it wasn't for their perseverance, their tenacity, their strength to carry on, we wouldn't be here today. So for those ancestors, I say thank you and ashe.
Sure.
I also give thanks to our leaders and our heroes and our sheroes. And you can see over my shoulder, I have my favorite, the Right Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, who I give great thanks to, because he left us with a black print and he left us with a mantle to pick up and to follow. And I know that we all can't do everything that Marcus did, but we all can take a little piece of what he did and put into place. And so I give thanks to Marcus Messiah Garvey. I also give thanks to all the others, leaders and heroes and sheroes, names who I don't know, names who I'll never know, and some names who I'll never know. And know that you have possibly your favorite too, but you can give thanks to. So for those, all those leaders, heroes and sheroes who kicked down those doors, who opened those pathways, who led us the way, that let us know that we can rise up. We can stand up for our rights. We don't have to be subservient to everything that's given to us and we must take it. No, those leaders and heroes of sheroes have showed us that as I said, we can rise up. And for those ancestors, the leaders, heroes and sheroes, I say thank you and Ashe.
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 I also give thanks to my lineage. I give thanks to your lineage, whose heads and shoulders who we are all standing upon, the good ancestors that's there with us from the time we're born right through to the time that we pass over to the ancestors. I give thanks for the fact that they're there with us all the time, even though sometimes we feel we're alone. We're not alone, they are there with us. And they're also there for us to call upon, for help, for guidance, even comfort. And when we do call upon our ancestors, let their answers be as clear as water, and let our mind be open so that we can receive their messages, so that we can see their messages, which is going to come in many different ways and many different forms and even signs. You know, you might see a white feather and wonder, where this white feather come from? You might find it in your hair, you might find it on the ground in front of you or on your person. These are signs, well, one of the signs to look out for. So when you ask your ancestors for help and guidance and you turn the tele vision on and somebody says a line that resonates with you, or you read something in a book and the line resonates with you, that's your ancestors answering you. So let our minds be open to those signs when they do come. So for our good ancestors who's with us all the way through thick and thin, I say thank you and Ashe.
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 And it's with this, I take the opportunity to say thank you to my grandmother, of whom I've never met, but I do know she's with me all the way and has been with me. Her name is Stephen Bailey. Stephen Bailey, I say thank you and Ashe.
Ashe.
I
Ashe.
also say thank you to my grandfather, Hubert Stair, who we called Mr. Stair. He was a great influence on my life as well. So Hubert Stair, I say thank you and Ashe.
Ashe.
I also say thank you to...
Until my meeting's done.
I also say thank you to... sorry, I got distracted there. I also say thank you to my mother, Iona Pinnock, and my stepfather, Ivan Pinnock, who, if they weren't the people who they were, I wouldn't be the person who I am. So for Iona Pinnock and Ivan Pinnock, I say thank you and Ashe.
Ashe.
And is there anybody else would like to unmute and say thank you to loved ones, family members, friends, or somebody who they know has recently passed? I suppose I say thank you and Ashe to our great leader who's now passed on to the ancestors. This is John Magufuli, who mysteriously died. So I say
Ashe.
thank you and Ashe.
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 Ashe. Has anybody else would like to say thank you and Ashe to anyone?
I'd like to say thanks and give thanks and appreciation to my father, Luther Palmer, his parents, Emmett Pearl Palmer, and my granddad, James Palmer, my mother's mother and father, Mary Brown and Thomas Brown, and my aunt who passed recently, my cousin Maria Dalrymple, my brother Ken, and my sister Monica, and all friends and relatives who passed on, transitioned onto the ancestral realm. Give thanks.
Ashe.
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 I would like to, yes.
Ashe.
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 I'd like to give thanks and praises to Rastafari for my father, Mr. Nelson Henry Greenwich. I'd also like to give Isis to Daisy Greenwich. I never got to meet Daisy Greenwich, but I understand from my research that she was a member of Marcus Garvey's UNIA and African Communities League. And I would like to send out my heartfelt Isis to the people of Tanzania at this particularly difficult time.
Ashe. Ashe.
Ashe. Anybody else?
I would like to thank you all for welcoming me in this space, and also reflect on my family back home in Guinea, where I've heard the news that one of the villages was burned down recently. So I want to send my prayers out to them, that they recover well and that everybody is well. Ashe, ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe, Ashe.
She.
Okay, Ashe. Anybody else?
I'd like to give thanks and praises to my mother, Ines Rancilla Grant, my father, Lionel Tilford Grant, and my other father, Hubert Roy Lewis, and yeah, and even call out my son, Prince Anthony Grant.
Ashe.
And yeah, so give thanks.
Ashe. Ashe. Anybody else?
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Come off. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
MisFit Music, and thank you for having us. I would like to thank my grandparents and my grandfather, who's my guardian angel and is always on my shoulder.
His name?
His Temkosi Lamin.
Temkosi Lamin, Ashe.
I would also like to thank my ancestors and everybody that fought for me to even be here today. Viva Madiba, South Africa.
Ashe.
Everybody at home. Ashe, Ashe.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.
I would like to thank my grandmother, Teresa Udway, for giving me this voice and giving me the strength. Ashe.
Ashe.
Cyril Udway, my grandfather, for just being the man he is, defiant and also such a powerful force. Ashe.
Ashe.
I would just like to thank ancestors that I do not know their name, the good ones who favor me, who love. I stand on their shoulders. Ashe.
Ashe. Ashe. Anybody else? Okay. With that, I'd like to say that the Garvey village is can start, and we're up and running on our part 51 of Unlock the Chains and Keep Well, where our guest presenters gives us the remedies and keys. I also like to say that due to family issues, we're not actually broadcasting live on Black Culture Radio, but it will be going out later on. So you'll take the recording and put it out. So for all those who would be listening on, or the future could be listening on Black Culture Radio, I say welcome. And with this, I'm going to introduce you to Marvina. And Marvina has recently become one of our managing directors of the Garvey Village. And she's going to put a youth section to the Garvey Village. So Marvina Newton, the screen is now yours. Please welcome, introduce yourself and let people know who you are, what you do, and welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much to Auntie Jean, the Garvey Village, Auntie Patricia, Auntie Chairs, Auntie Christiani. Be honest to you, for the younger generations coming into a space and reaching out to our elders to learn from them, to shadow them, for them to welcome you with open arms, to welcome your ideas, to be able to say that this is a space for us to galvanize our youths, to celebrate their achievements, to raise their recognition, to also give them a platform to tell us how they're doing amazing things. Because too much do we hear all the things that don't go right with our African youths. We don't get to know all the amazing things our African youths are doing. So we want to use this opportunity, thanking the Garvey Village team, management team, for all the hard work that they've done to be able to be at this point. We also celebrate all that those who came before us. And thank you for coming to Galvanizing the African Youths session. So I'm excited about this because we have a lineup of amazing young people who have been doing some amazing things across the UK and internationally, creating a ripple of change from music to protests to organizing some of the amazing things you've seen going on this week. I want to invite you to think about how we can enhance the voices of our young people, knowing that they're strong, knowing that they know that this world is going into a place that we cannot recognize. We need to equip them with the tools, wisdom, and be able to pass on the baton to help them run this race. We have done as much as we can. I still think I'm young, but some of them will say auntie, and I don't know why, but they do. So I've now become that auntie that doesn't want to be an auntie. When you get to that stage, you know, something's going on. And I try and act like I'm cool and hip, and they remind me that, nah, you shouldn't do that, miss. And background is I am a lecturer teaching Leeds Becker University, while also I run a couple of NGOs in this country and founded some of the Black movements and do a lot of protest. But one thing that I know that drives me a lot is challenging inequality. My background is in microbiology, so women in STEM, really brilliant. And also, I'm also part of the co-founder of Black Lives Matter movement in Leeds. And I know that question is going to come up. And one of the things I would love to highlight, we are not associated with anything to do with America. When we talk about Black lives, I talk about Black lives here. I talk about how I amplify their voices and how do I challenge inequality. That being said, today is all about galvanizing African youth. I'm part of something called African Arising, and also being Nigerian. I grew up in Nigeria, and until I moved to this country, I knew the history that I was told about myself was distorted. So coming from the land that I know is beautiful called Africa, coming from the place called Nigeria, coming from the Delta region, where I know that Warri, a place where the oil is so rich, but we have people come and steal from us. They come and use their resources to lure us into thinking that we are not good enough. Nigeria is only about 60 plus years independent. The colonial masters were able to pillage our continent and be able to leave their remnants of things that we do not want to see. But the African youths are rising. The African youths know exactly who they are. And through the Garvey village, we should be able to galvanize them. We should be able to educate them. We should be able to learn from each other, respecting our elders and being able to understand that no longer should we do this by ourselves. No longer should we not go to our elders. Growing up in Nigeria, one thing I learned was always seeking the elder in the village. So when I do projects, I seek the wisdom from the elders around me who have gone before me. No idea is new, so somebody must have done it. You learn from the mistakes and you make sure you do better. And that's what it is. And you make mistakes. So for the young people listening to this, while you're figuring out your part, while you're figuring out what you need to do, your passion, the only thing I could say is make sure you focus on what you love doing. Make sure you highlight what inequalities our people are going through. And let's see how you create a change to tackle those inequalities, because your voice is so golden. And I know the system tries to tell you that you do not matter, but your voice is vital. And the elders in this space, the people you come into the Garvey village to meet, when you come here, you need to learn, listen, learn, and yield your power. You've got resources, you've got talent. Some of you are got great skills in social media. Some of you are great connections with project management, event coordination. Some of you are literally just phenomenal in every other way. You might be talented in music, you might be talented in fashion, you might be talented in something. See how you volunteer your time to those organizations that came before you. There's the Sister Space, there's the African Culture Market. There are so many projects that you cannot imagine. Volunteer your time. I know most of you want to start your own project, you want to do your own thing, but there's so much knowledge to be gotten from our elders. There's so much resources, and we need to be able to collate those history. So through the galvanization of our African youths, we hope that we are able to equip our youths with the right message, right knowledge, and right resources so they're able to work together. One of the beautiful things today is I am so blessed to have been given the opportunity to organize some lovely young people. Some of them you know, some of them you don't. But these young people have some amazing stories, amazing content that they would like to give to you today. Some of them are at the beginning of their journey. Some of them are maybe a little bit further, but I want us to try and welcome them, listen to them, support them, nurture them, but also you could question them. Between every speech, every talk, you are able to ask them questions. We have a 10-minute slot to really help them get their voices heard. And what you can do is also connect with these young people, see how you can mentor, support, teach them, pass them contacts. So I want you to think about these amazing young people as your younger selves. What advice would you give to the younger you? What resources do you wish you knew you had when you were their age or when they were doing their movement? And I look forward to learning from all of you today. It brings me, I'm just going to check if my amazing sister, who I'm about to introduce, I'm going to introduce, actually, I changed my mind a little bit. I'm going to introduce an open 10 minutes open questions where people can ask me questions, because you're getting to meet me for the first time on Garvey as my role. And if there are questions that you have regarding what I've just said and you would like to know more, that will be great. And please be gentle with the young people today, if you don't mind. Please be encouraging. Again, because we've got loads of young people in the space, please encourage them. I've got Empress Judah. Empress Judah.
Yes, speaking. I thought
Greetings.
I recognised you from Haringey Black Lives Matter, but you've confirmed that you are actually part of Black Lives Matter. So
Yes.
how will the agenda of Black Lives Matter impact on Garvey Village?
It doesn't. I'm African first. I'm here for Garvey. I'm here to increase the voices of African youths. I am African first. I make sure that I fight for the inequalities for every African person, and whatever vehicle that helps me ensure that I amplify the voices of that, that's what I would do. People that know me and know what I bring into the table. But I understand that question, and I know with our community, there are worries about the Black Lives Matter agenda. It's not on the table in this room, but hopefully, I hope that answered your question.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, if you're saying that the politics of Black Lives Matter isn't going to impact on the Garvey Village, then that's really welcoming, because otherwise I would leave the space, because I've been in the BLM in Haringey and I left the space because the final straw was the issue in terms of 3 white women and 1 black man, and being told it was a black-led organization. So I think the idea of clearly Pan-Africanism, or certainly Garveyism, who is regarded as the father of Pan-Africanism, my alarm bell was that, you know, you had mentioned, and I appreciate the honesty, and I'm glad you were honest. But yeah, if you're saying that your Black Lives Matter hat isn't going to be worn within the Garvey Village, then I welcome that. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you so much for that question. Making it clear, as Black people, we wear a lot of hats. We sit on a lot of boards. We do a lot of things. We know how to code switch really quickly. That's the beauty of being African. We know exactly when to bring our politics into certain rooms, and we know where to put it. And I hope some of the young people listening know the same thing. We know what topics we're going to talk about. You're in the Garvey village. We talk about Pan-Africanism. We talk about building our community, talk about unity. We're not here to pass any other agenda but that. But I would never remove any of my other identity. And when asked, I speak the truth in the way I do things. But I really appreciate that. And thank you. Thank you for that question. It was nice to get that one out. Any other questions? Okay, sorry, I can't
Pamela
see.
has, sorry, I see Pamela has unmuted, but do you have a question or was that an accident?
No, I haven't got a question. Sorry, I'll mute back.
Thank
Just
you.
greetings, everyone.
Greetings.
Okay.
Greetings. Greetings.
Greetings.
Anybody
Okay,
else
everyone.
got a question?
Someone's got a question. Okay.
Has anybody got a question to put forward to Marvina? And what you just heard her say? No?
No, no, it's not a question. It's just to say thank you, Sister Marvina, for actually trying to create this space with the Garvey, and so that we can connect with the youth. And yeah, and it's great that you're galvanizing the African youths, because we have to hand over the baton to them, and they do actually need to learn as well. So it's part of our mentoring. Because we don't want to be, as elders, we're not going to keep all the information to ourselves. We want to share that information, and that's where we always fail on. We keep it for ourselves, but not to actually to share it and cascade that down. So I just want to say thank you for the works that you're doing for our monthly youth events. So thank you.
Thank you so much. It's the thing about the Garvey village, and I really want anyone listening to this, it is as easy as being involved if you want to. You literally need to understand this is a community of people that are willing to educate, nurture, support, and help you grow. Believe me, this is a journey that I'm so privileged that I'm in, because when you find family, you find family. And when, to the young people listening to this, one thing I will bring about African culture is respect. Sometimes we might have conversations with people, but what I've learned in this process is humble yourself and die to ego. Come into the space willing to learn, because there are gems always being dropped by our elders. They've got time, they've got that spirit of discernment, they've got that wisdom. And this is the time that by galvanizing our young people, this knowledge will empower us, for those who might be activists, for those who might be running their normal business, doing music, coming into this space, doing whatever you're doing, you would learn things. And one thing I will say with advice, you keep some, you use some, you display some. Not everything might fit into you. You have to be able to take what fits, do not lose yourself, but be able to be respectful. And I'm gonna really ask to be respectful when you're in this space. I will mute you, I will remove you if you disrespect any of the elders in this space. Vice versa too, I will say the same. If you disrespect or you undermine or you break down, we do not break down anyone in this space. We uplift, we speak a life to each person, and we need to show that. So I know that you might have not heard that before, but I smile a lot, but I have zero tolerance to rubbish. So thank you so much. And with that being said, if there's no more questions.
Yes, you have one by Sister Cher.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. We have got some young people. When I mean young, you've got my granddaughter in there, so please be mindful of the language as well. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. I'm not just saying it's because it's her alone, but just saying, you know, is to be mindful of our language as well. So yeah, just wanted to put that over. Thank you.
Thank you. And what's your granddaughter's name? I think she's our youngest viewer today.
Her name's Nyla, but she's drawing as well as listening. So I don't know if she wants to come on. I don't think she wants to come on, but yeah, she's there.
So, by the way, I've heard some amazing things about you. I can't wait to have you on one day doing exactly this. and it's an honor to have you in this space. Empress Judah.
Sorry, just for the record, I don't actually support the agenda of Black Lives Matter. I just think it's important to say that for the benefit of the wider audience. Thank you.
Okay, and that's fine. We know that people are not going to support a lot of the agendas of Black Lives Matter or other movements, and it's okay. We are not here pushing any other agenda other than galvanizing of African youth as part of the Garvey village. Is that okay? Thank you. All right then. Okay. And I think this is a very perfect time for me to introduce an amazing, amazing young man. His name is Phoenix, and like the Phoenix, I feel like he rises. He's one of the young people who I know have used music as a political tool to influence change. And without further ado, can we just show some thumbs up or some clapping symbols to just be able to show Phoenix some lovely love? Thank you so much. Phoenix, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Marvina. I want to first of all say greetings and thanks to all of you for inviting me into this space. It's a blessing to be able to sit here and a privilege to be able to learn and share some of the things that we've been doing with you and enjoy. As Marvina said, I'm a musician. I grew up to Black music. My mum didn't let me listen to anything modern growing up. There was no radio in my house. And so my biggest inspirations have always been Billie Holiday and Bob Marley and Ray Charles and Nina Simone and Aretha Franklin, and the musicians that used to engage and be a part of our culture and also were a part of our fight and our struggle and told our stories. I used to love Fela Kuti, Dennis Brown. And that is lacking in a lot of today's music. And when the protest started last year, the first week of protest, I'm sure you'll remember, there was a lot in the news about violence, which, having been there, was instigated by the police. And as an artist, I was frustrated by that, and I thought, what can I do? What can I do to change this narrative and stop having our people being blamed for things that police have started? Because the irony of being at a protest against police brutality on Black bodies and to have the police brutalize Black bodies at that protest, that is incredibly painful, and as I'm sure people know. So I decided to galvanize my community in Brixton in South London and the artists that I knew, and to bring speakers to the next protest so that we can be heard across the whole crowd, and to bring music and to start speaking to the people. Instead of having just 20,000 people on the street shouting Black Lives Matter, I thought, let's have a conversation and let's lift our vibrations collectively. So some amazing artists came with me on that day. One of them is going to join us later to sing. Her name is Ruth Brown. And some of you may have seen her on The Voice. Some of you may have seen her busking on the streets of London. She's absolutely incredible. And I remember when she sang Change Gon' Come at that very first protest. And instead of having 20,000 angry people, we had 20,000 people that were hugging each other, that were crying, that were sharing in a moment of beauty and understanding. And that's when it really hit me how powerful music can be at a protest, because it takes away an element of anger and pain, and it replaces it with an element of empowerment. And it allows people to come and speak as well. In between our performances, we would have a speaker on to talk for 10 minutes about an issue that is important to them, and to use this moment of connection we've created with music to really educate people. And then we bring on another artist so that people can digest the information, and then bring on another speaker to impart some more education. And we would always end with the candy, with the electric slide, just to have that one moment to bring everybody together and have them dance together. And the amazing thing is that the police could not do anything at any of our protests. They were enjoying themselves, you know, because it was I think music and art is so powerful. And again, I want to pay tribute to the ancestors, our musical ancestors that came before us and everything that they've done for us with their music. And I think I started the Black music movement in order to try and bring some of that spirit back, in order to find artists that the music industry at large ignores, especially young Black artists who do not get the same opportunities, who too often are robbed of their art, who too often are plundered of their culture, and to give them a platform that they can all be heard. At all our protests, our mic is always open for people to come if they want to sing or share something, if they want to speak and say something. I think it's so important to give people a microphone and a voice, because our voices have been taken for us for too long. And I think music is our voice. So that is some of the work that we've been doing. We're now reaching out across the globe, in America, in Europe. We're trying to reach out to Brazil, and we're really trying to create a wave where artists become a part of the social revolution that we're seeing at the moment in terms of Black rights and in terms of Black empowerment and education. We're also working with youth projects, community centers to set up projects to educate young people on music and on art and use it to help people, because too many of our youth centers have been shut down. So we work with a lot of different organizations, which is how I met the lovely sister Marvina. And this is the projects that we try to do. We also do protests. On Sunday, after I heard about the news about the bill, I called up as many people as I knew from as many groups as I knew to put together a statement to release and try to come up with a hashtag, which was Kill the Bill. And together, Marvina, I have to again thank her so much for all of the incredible work and assistance she's given me. And we've really been able to pull together that and make it a movement that this whole country has now heard. And there's now groups called Kill the Bill in different cities. And they've named themselves after something that we've started. Even though we've not necessarily gotten credit for it, please know that that was the Black community that started that. And I'd say that completely humbly. And I say that without wanting to take credit for it, but I say that because it's important to be heard that we are at the forefront of this as Black people, once again, in creating change. I think I have nothing much more to say. Thank you, Marvina.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's inspiring to hear.
It's very inspiring. And we have to say that you called a meeting. And sometimes I have to say to you, my brother, I am proud of you. And you called a meeting and you didn't know who was going to turn up. We ended up having more than 140 different organizations turn up. On Sunday, on Mother's Day, having a meeting and starting a campaign that come Monday, by 9 a.m., the hashtag was trending 11,000. By 9 a.m. the next day, we can only say that we are humbled by that experience. I think I wanted to just ask you a question before I open it to the floor, because sometimes, again, I know this is a nervous period when we come into the spaces sharing our story. What is the challenges that you think, as a young Black man, that young Black men might face in the UK in this age? What do you think some of the challenges might be for young Black men in the UK?
I think one of the age-old challenges is lack of opportunity. And I think that is a very, very big one. I think another massive challenge that confronts a lot of young Black men is the housing in our country, because too many of us are locked in estates which essentially resemble prisons, with guards at the doors and cameras in the lifts and gates on different floors, and creates an atmosphere which isn't healthy and doesn't breed. It's not you need a healthy environment in order to grow and to flourish. And that is lacking for so many young Black men. In education, seeing how many of us are more likely to be excluded, expelled from education simply because of the fact that we are Black. In secondary schools especially, the rate for young Black men being excluded and expelled from schools the rate of young incarceration for young Black men, we're apparently 3% of the population, but we're over 50% of young offenders population. So the discrimination and the criminalization of being Black is very, very real in the UK at the moment. I think those are the main struggles that we really face, because again, you need a good environment in order to flourish. And if you're constantly confronted with this struggle from the moment you're growing up, even just going through school, that doesn't create healthy minds and healthy spirits and healthy souls that are able to be their best selves. And it creates a lot of trauma.
Okay. That being said, before I think I'm just picking from what you said. Being dual heritage, because we had this conversation the other day around mixed heritage and what the challenges might be. People don't openly sometimes discuss it. How does that make you feel in this space, and naturally around colorism, around this age-old, you're not, some people might say you're not Black, and all those kind of things, because these are conversations we have with our young people, and we talk about it. What would be some of the things you would want people to know as a dual heritage young Black man?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that you struggle from is internalized racism and struggle of identity, because I think when you're biracial, you often find that people feel like they can impose identity on you, and they can tell you who they think you are. And so you have to be very sure of who you are within yourself in order to maintain your identity and know your identity and be true to your identity. But I also think there's a lot of, in the media, in television, in music, there's so much promotion and almost a fetishization of lighter skin that in some light-skinned people creates an ego around that, without being able to humble themselves and understand that, yes, we do have privilege, and we cannot understand what it is like for our more darkly melanated brothers and sisters, because there's a certain level of privilege that comes with having fairer skin, and it always has been so. And I think humility in that aspect is a very important thing as well. And being open to learning and still understanding, and not having to always defend your Blackness, but being sure in it for yourself.
I think I can listen to you talk, but while you're there, you said something today that actually touched me. You said when it came to your organization, you wanted to put women first to lead the organization. Can you just elaborate why that was important for you? Because if you don't mind your age, for me, that was quite shocking to hear it from you. Why is it important for you as a Black man to put Black women in front, according to your own words?
First of all, I have to thank my mother. My father wasn't around growing up. My mother's an incredibly beautiful Black woman, and I have two incredibly beautiful Black sisters. And so therefore, on one hand side, I've had my mother raise me to be very conscious and aware. And I'm from the Kabul Kingdom, from my grandfather's side in West Africa, which used to be part of the Mandinka Empire. And my family name goes back to the 7th century. And back then we were a matriarchy, and women were always in charge of our tribe. So I think knowing that family history and growing up in my immediate family, I think that's something which comes natural to me. I think it is, you know, there's a phrase that often goes around the line that says protect Black women, but it doesn't just mean physically, it also means spiritually, it means emotionally, and it means that men are truly here to protect women and to also learn from them and to follow their guidance and follow their care. And we've lived so long in a world that has been ruled by white men that I think spiritually this world needs some healing, and the best way to do that is to completely flip the tables and let it be run by Black women for a while, you know, at the very least. And, you know, we've seen where white supremacy and white patriarchy has gotten us. So that's why, yeah, I really want to focus on this organization and not being me, but I'm trying to find people in every country where we set up in, especially Black women, to lead this organization, because I think that's so important.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna open the floor after you have a performance. Do you have something to just perform before I open the floor to questions? Because I'm feeling the vibration, and I think it's better for you to perform first before we open it to questions. Is that okay? Because I think I want to hear your blessings, if that's okay.
I'm a rapper, but I'm going to read some lyrics for you guys a cappella, because I think it would be more appropriate. And it's a song I wrote which is called Why, which is kind of about, I guess, the struggles and you know, the trying to grow up being Black and understanding your space in life. Why is it so hard to live? Why is it so hard to die? If nothing is promised, then tell me, why do I try? So why do we exist? Why do you have to lie when I question the things that I perceive with my eyes? Like, why do you hate my skin? Why do you hate my mind? Why am I the one who sins, but your actions are righteous? What do I have to give when you've taken my rights? Why should I give a, tell me why, tell me why? Why am I not perfect? I'm sick and tired of crying. Why do I have a gift when they only shoot it down? Why should I be honest when the truth gets you killed? Why am I different? I don't know why, I don't know why.
Wow, that's brilliant.
Thank you.
Absolutely
Thank
brilliant.
Thank you. Please, can you put your social media handles and everything in there? And now open it for, do you have another thing to perform, or is there anything you're led to perform before I open the questions? Because
we have the performer later. Maybe I'm too close it out if we still have time at the end, which would be Ruth. I think she's just getting ready, and then she's going to join the call in a bit, and we'll be happy to.
Okay, I think it will be a blessing to have Ruth to perform anyway. So I think it would be great. The voice in the space. That's brilliant. I'm opening the floor to questions now. We've got Empress Judah.
Empress Judah?
Yes, greetings. I just want to say thank you to, I didn't get his name. He's the Phoenix Black Music Movement.
Yes.
I actually was at the meeting on Sunday, and tremendous the way he managed to conduct the group, I think with the help of yourself. So yeah, just first of all wanted to say thank you for that. And then I just wanted to ask the young man, why do you use the description dual heritage?
I think I used the word dual heritage. I don't think he did. I used that.
Okay.
So
well, could I? No, not at all. I mean, you know, what I would say to the Phoenix Black Music Movement is I'm going to put a book in the chat for you. And hopefully you will take some time to have a look at that, okay? Because all of these terms, dual heritage, mixed race, hybrid, biracial, there's a shopping list of terms. They are European inventions. So I'd like to offer you an alternative way of, I don't know if you regard yourself as dual heritage, but just open your mind perhaps to some other ideas in reference to Marcus Garvey and how he identified people of your racial heritage. But thank you as well for your rap and your poetry. Asha.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that as well. Yeah, I guess it is definitely a struggle trying to find the right terms, because I'm not really comfortable with any of the ones that are in the English language, and on a political basis as well. When I'm asked in the little box, I always tick back, just because I think it's important for the representation for all of us to be seen, heard, and counted. So yeah, but I definitely would love to educate myself more, and thank you so much.
Thank you. I see Carl is unmuted. If you have a question, Carl.
Yeah, more of a comment. First and foremost, I just wanted to say thank you to Phoenix for his presentation and his aspirations, and especially his aspirations towards women. I also just wanted to comment on that. Well done with that slogan of "Kill the Bill," because it would seem to have had an impact. I don't know if you know, the bill which they were rushing through Parliament has now been slowed down, and probably September towards the end of the year before that actually comes into force. And there's still time for that bill to be killed. So well done with that slogan. It has proven itself already to have a great impact, and great to meet the originator of that, because it's been prolific through the past few days' protests. Nice meeting you.
Ashay. Alexandra.
Hi, thank you. Yeah, I just wanted to echo what everyone's saying. I was invited to this space from Marvina. I've got quite a close relationship with Marvina, and it's great to see the connections that she's building with other people. And I cannot wait for the time to be that we can all meet up in person, and this to be a whole movement where we can feel the energy together. The rap was, even though it was, you said it and didn't rap it. It was incredible, and I can't wait to hear more of your work, Phoenix. Well done. Thank you for having me in the space. Let me speak properly.
Thank you, Alexandra, for being here. Thanks. Any other questions or comments?
I would just like to say congratulations. I listening to you. You come across as very intelligent, very caring, very sensitive individual. I love what you said about women. I really think it's important that women are given their rightful place, and it's good to hear from young men, you know, like yourself, your perspectives. It would be great. Your rap, your poem was great, and I'd like to hear more, and would welcome you to the Garvey Village in terms of future presentations. Thank you.
Can I say something?
Thank you so much.
Yes, Marlene.
Oh, I came on a bit late, but I heard about your dual heritage, and I can't understand why people have a problem with you being called dual heritage, because you are of both culture and you're of both ethnicity, because you did not come from just direct Black or direct white. So I do not understand when people are having problems with people calling themselves dual heritage, mixed race. They're a combination of two race of people. They're not just one race, and they've got to be identified by something. Like people are identifying themselves as white and people are identifying themselves as Black, dual heritage, mixed race, whatever. You've got both race, ethnicity in you as a person.
Thank you, Marlene. Thank you.
Okay.
I see Empress Judah's got your hand up, but we have heard from you already, Empress Judah, and we've heard from Marlene. So we've heard from both sides. So with respect, I hope your question. Yes, Pamela.
Yeah. I just wanted to thank the young man for his poem, and I like the way you just put it down, you know.
Yes.
And the way it flows, it really resonates the way you read it. And yeah, so that was really touching for me. And for me, like, one of the things with me at the moment is that I'm trying to reclaim my patois, my heritage, you know, and my language. So
you're doing it very well.
You're doing well. Yeah, you know what I mean? Love it.
I'm going to say the same.
No, because one of the things is that we have to give up is this speaky spoken when we come to England. Like,
yeah, right.
And then when we come, I feel that when we're there with our own people and we're there on the platform, I want to be able to just talk when we want to talk and say in my authentic manner.
That's beautiful.
Love that.
You know? Because Where she go?
Are you muted?
Yeah, I'm here. Me and technology, you know. When we
Okay.
started school, we used chalk and slate. So that's how far back, you know.
You come far.
Me come far, you know. Me have 25 grand picnic them.
Wow.
You know? So them
Well
always
done.
look after me and show me how to do things. So you know, I'm coming on, but me just want to say thank you for that. And yeah, my mother needed to understand that patois is a dialect. And when I come to England, it was another dialect, not to get me to talk English talk, you know, because they wanted to assimilate and fit in.
Yes.
So I can speak the Queen's English if required. I can sit down and, you know, object and whatever. But come to shove, you know, we're powerful, we're rich, you know. When the Creator make way, He never make no mistake. The size of your lip, the shape of your hips, everything about you. So amazing.
Beautiful.
You know? So that's what I wanted to just thank the young man for bringing him amazing self, you know, and share that with us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Pamela. Pamela, we have to invite you to the show because we need some more laughs like this. Thank you.
Big up, Pamela. Big up.
Love you, Auntie. Love you, love you.
I'm not crying. I'm laughing. I'm crying. I'm
and so we have to invite Pamela back.
Well, the thing is that Miss everyone speak is walking. Everyone on a grew up in a household where your parents talk patois. But because them so conditioned with to speak the English, so they want to bless them, want to with assimilate and fit in. But little did they know, from we step into the classroom, you know. So there's some fundamental things you need to do that you need to affirm yourself. Every day when you wake up and you're looking at the mirror, you say, yes, God. Because of Him design you, the shape of your hips, your lips, everything about you, you know? Him say, yes, you're perfect. Go on down to earth and shine, you know? You don't need nobody. No Caucasian can give you GCSE, OBE, ZYZ or anything. A plain piece of paper, them business there. We don't need that.
True.
You know, we need to affirm ourselves to know that the Creator that created you did so, and He gave you 100% approval.
Oh,
Ashay.
Brilliant.
Ashay to that. I'm so much pretty right now because of you, right?
So, I will mute myself now, but thank you so much.
Ashay.
Thank you, Auntie. While we're on that vibration, actually, speechless. Phoenix, before I move on to one of your amazing, talented queen that you're about to present, is there anything you'd like to say before? And maybe you should do the introduction. Actually, you get to introduce the next queen, and you know who, so I'll let you do that.
Yeah. First of all, just again, blessings. Thank you all so much for your kindness, your wisdom, and everything. It's humbling and it's beautiful. Thank you so much for inviting me in this space. I'm so excited to introduce you guys to MisFit, or Tobide, who I connected with after she came to our protest last year. And she's an incredible presenter, an artist. We are starting a podcast, she's starting a podcast, which she invited me to co-host on very kindly, called Black Excellence, where we'll be discussing topics of Blackness, difficult to address questions. And she's becoming the head of the Black music movement in the UK. So please, I'd like to introduce my sister, Tobide.
Queen.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. Thank you for that introduction, Phoenix. And again, thank you to the elders having me here today.
respect is a huge thing for me. I am South African. We do not play that game, and I understand the platform that you are giving us. So I humble myself and I really thank you. And I'm so ready to learn. So as Phoenix just said, I attended a protest last year, my first ever protest. And I took my son, Isilo, and that means king in Zulu. And yeah, it was, I don't know, it was something, it was just incredible to actually feel people come together for me, for my son, especially. And I've never experienced anything like it. I mean, I'm sure most of us here know the history of South Africa, and me moving to this country at 8 years old. I would like to say, Auntie Pamela, I agree 100% with everything you said, because funnily enough, I was that young girl that came to this country and I began to lose my language, lose my culture, lose my essence. I mean, if you just heard me on the phone, you would think I was white. Let's not lie. My accent is very strong and thick. But ungangijwayela because ngiyakwazi ukukhuluma isiZulu, yebo. Cela uqamele ebuchwethi becela ukuqala siyakhuluma isiZulu namhlanje, yebo.
Ashe.
Ashe, yebo.
Boy.
You know, and that is it's very deep what you just said as well, Auntie Pamela, because that is part of how I got here. I was very lost. I didn't have any. When I first moved here, do I have time? Because I don't want to take too much time.
you have time.
You have time.
Okay, so when I first moved to this country, I was excited. Like, oh my gosh, the UK, the Queen, and everybody's all together and as one. And I saw the concerts and everything that they did for South Africa and Free Nelson Mandela. And then I landed. And I moved, and my stepfather is a white male who was in the army in South Africa, but he was not fighting against us, he was fighting for us. So I had a really different upbringing in that sense. So I came to the UK, and the first year in the UK, I was the only Black child in the whole entire school and in the whole entire area, as my stepfather was born in an area called Derbyshire. So I'm sure we know how diverse Derbyshire is, and especially back then in like 1998, 99. And that was the first time I'd ever been called a nigger, surprisingly enough, coming from apartheid and everything. And I had to go home and ask my stepfather what the word nigger meant. Now, I'm sure we can understand that was a very complicated conversation for a white man to explain to his Black stepdaughter what that word meant. Moving on anyway.
Sorry, that was my fault. I was trying to mute the other person who's speaking. Yeah.
I had it.
Oh, we both did it at the same time, did we?
Yeah,
sorry,
everybody.
You're gonna have to repeat what you just said.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No worries. Technology, like, this is our life now. You know, it is what it is. So yeah, no worries there. So Black Lives Matter. The thing that really touched me about that protest is the spark that I saw in my son's eyes. It was the first time that he felt celebrated, acknowledged, and accepted. Because we live in Essex, Southend on Sea. Do you know what I mean, love? They all talk like this and doing a bit of this and doing a bit of that. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, right? That's how it is around here, Southend on Sea. And we live in a predominantly white area, but it's changing. And he was playing outside a few times, just getting used to the local kids. And he got told to go back to his country by a 3-year-old. Now, he already knows he's a child who can't do anything. So he came home with this frustration and this anger of, what do they mean go back to my country? I was born here, like, I don't understand. And he is half Caribbean and half South Africa, but we are all one, of course. And I had to explain to him and break it down to him. So it was like the protest came at the perfect time. And as I'm walking with him, he was so nervous and he'd never been in that environment before. And the very same said black boys that are put on media as gangsters, gang members, aggressive, they carry knives, they're gonna do something to you, were the exact same boys. Out of nowhere, they must have seen he was nervous and I was comforting him. And they just surrounded us and surrounded him. And they said, young king, there's nothing to be scared for. This march is for you. This march is for your future. Walk proud with your fist up and hold your mother's hand. Trust and believe nothing's going to happen to you here, and we will not allow it. And that, I can't explain, like as a black single mother without having the father figure around, that touched me in a way I can't explain. In our language, we call it Ubuntu. And Ubuntu basically means humanity. And that was the first time I'd felt it in this country, even amongst us as black people, youngers and elders and so on. So that ignited me to start my Black Excellence podcast, which will be televised on E-channel, E-cable, sorry. So if any of you have E-cable, or you can download it onto your phone. And we're on YouTube, Instagram, and all social media platforms. And it ignited my experience in me and discussing with others what they've been through. Funnily enough, there were so many of us that had the exact same experience, but I'd never met anybody that had. So that's what sparked me to start this podcast. And I guess Phoenix loved my passion and my fresh eyes into this, as I am new to the activist life, and I'm really passionate about it, and I'm so excited to do everything and anything I can towards the movement. I'm an artist, I sing, I write, and a lot of the music I write is very spiritual and a lot of my own reflections on this crazy life that we live in. And actually looking back at my lyrics and stuff, not really realizing what I was talking about, but when you really deep my lyrics and stuff, it was like, this is not only a woman's journey, it's a Black woman's journey. And I really want to help as many women, as many men, as many children accept and honor and love themselves for who they are. Because I grew up half of my life hating who I was. Hence the accent. I was trained to speak properly. And speaking properly got me to be a news anchor, and it got me into all these positions. But then I had to look back and say, who is Nolutando Tobile Songwashami? I lost myself. So I'm grateful for this movement because it's brought back who I am. It's brought back my voice that has been silenced for as long as I've lived here, and all my failures, I now feel they all happened for this purpose and for me to be here now. So I thank you all, and I don't want to ramble too much, but that's what I have to say.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you. I am so proud of you. I'm proud of you, and I know it's an honor to have you in the space, but it's also an honor to share quality time with you. For a lot of my young people, they know that we pray together spiritually, like ancestor calling kind of prayer together, and like myself. So I remember like just before this, so it's funny that we came into the space and they did the same thing we did before we came on the call, and I could see the energy you have just even doing that. For questions, the thing about being a single mother, in fact, let's do it this stage. I've got questions, but I know everybody has questions. But because people don't know you, so they might be nice and no one asks you all those kind of meaty questions. But I know that there's a young person, there's a young person listening to this. Let's go to their identity, and we call it code switching. We talk about code switching all the time. Me and you, when we first met, we code switched as soon as we started talking, I was like, "You're right, love. How you doing?" And you're like, "Yeah, love." And you just did that. And then I was like, you're African. What does that do to your mental health? Like when you feel that you have to always, I want the older generation to see some of the things, like as a young woman, mostly also having a child and almost having multiple personalities potentially to fit different boxes. What does that do to you and how you parent in a way from code switching?
Wow. Deep question. What does it do to me? I can say what it's done to me. I lost myself. I lost who I was. Being pulled away from my whole entire family in South Africa and only having my mother here as a direct family member. And obviously we know immigration laws, she had to go back, she had to come back, she had the whole up and down mess of it all. I lost myself. When I had nobody to relate to. Funny, actually, let me just go back to this. I actually spoke to my dad 2 days ago about my whole journey. The moment I felt like I was no longer South African, I was no longer Zulu, is the day I couldn't remember our national anthem. And I was 10, 11 years old, because my father used to ask me to sing it all the time. And I'm like, yeah, sure, Dad, I can sing it. Hey. And it came to one day and I said, Lady Africa. And I literally started bawling, absolutely in tears, because I lost who I was. I lost my mother tongue. I felt like I lost my grandparents. I felt like I lost my mother, my cousins, my everything that I am, that I've grown around, the noises, the sounds, the taxis going by, like I lost all of that. What it's done for my mental health, PTSD. And PTSD is not just because of not having an identity. There were other things that aided that, but it really brought me to post-traumatic stress disorder, because I was forever trying to fit in. And others could see that in me. They could see I was a lost child. I didn't have my mother. I had a white stepfather that, God bless his soul, he used to try and do my hair, but Jesus, I don't know what he was doing. But he tried, shit. And I used to have to try and fit in with the whites, fit in with the Caribbeans. I mean, when I moved to Nottingham, I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm finally going to be around Black children and everything that I saw in South Africa, because at that time, I was blessed enough to be in mixed schools and we had every race you can think of. So then I finally get to Nottingham and I'm excited. I've got Black children around me, and then it's like, you're African. Did you grow up with flies in your eyes? Did you grow up in a mud hut? Why don't you have a pot belly? Well, why are you not dark skinned? Because you're African. Aren't all Africans Black? And I'd never been addressed with any of them. So I started to shy away from being African. I started to pick up Caribbean and Jamaican traits, and there's nothing wrong with that, because that's what I was growing up around. I mean, that was the church I went to. There were the families that babysat me. There were the friends that I had. It was the music I listened to. And then it would come to the question of, oh, so what part of the Caribbean you from? I'm like, I'm not Caribbean. Wait, what? You're not Caribbean? Excuse me? Well, so where are you from? South Africa. Nah, man, you can't tell me that. You can't tell me that. Nasa. You're not South Africa. You're mad. You come from Trinidad or somewhere. I was like, no, I'm South African. I've just grown up in the culture. But even that pushback was like, I'm still not accepted. Obviously, being light-skinned, my stepfather being white, there was also the question of, are you mixed race? But if you're mixed race, why don't you have mixed race hair? You've got really tough hair. And it was like, I'm not mixed race, I'm full black. We just happen to have light skins in South Africa. Well, then there must be some kind of dilution in South Africa. You must have white somewhere. And I was, oh. So boiling it down to what does it mean for me, that constant juggling and placement and everything, I lost myself. But I'm also thankful for it because it broke, you know how we say, God breaks you down to build you back up. And I feel I had my breakdown to now be built back up to this woman who I am, where I am. I'm proud to be South African. I'm proud to have the Jamaican influence in me. I'm proud to have all of these Black communities that I've been allowed to grow up around and represent. Now I'm unapologetically South African. I forever wear my bracelets, forever wear my jewelry, forever teaching my son about his culture, where he comes from. And that's even beautiful because I see the empowerment in him, and he goes into school, Black History Month, challenging the teachers. But do you know about Mansa Musa, the richest man on earth? But do you know about Shaka Zulu? What do you know about? And he's dropping all these gems on the teacher, and the teacher does not know what to do with this. And he comes home and he's like, Mom, guess what? I told the teacher about Mansa Musa and she didn't believe me. And she had to go on Google and research who he was. And she was like, well, I guess, we don't have to do Black history anymore because I don't see the point in it. And he, as a 10-year-old, said, no, there is a point in it because you have to teach who we were before we were enslaved. Beautiful. And that is where I've come from being lost to now being in a space where I'm part of a movement. I feel like I've got family, I've got a tribe. I mean, like Marvina said, we pray together, we cry together, we do everything together. And I've never experienced that. I've never tasted that sense of community, not in any church, not in any friendship, not in anybody that's looked after me growing up. I have never had anything like this, even being in this room. That's why I have to repeat myself and I say I'm so grateful and humbled to be amongst you all because there's so much I can learn from you all, and I'm willing to learn and I'm willing to do the work. So, yeah.
Thank you. And we're learning a lot from you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. We'll open it to some questions, but thank you also for highlighting Afrophobia, because that's actually something that we sometimes don't talk about really. And it's really, you dropped it really eloquently. I didn't even think you were going to go there, but you did. So thank you so much. And the damage we go through, code switching, we celebrate it so much. We don't talk about the mental trauma of having to be multiple people for multiple places. But with that being said, open questions to the beautiful Queen MisFit Music. Any questions or comments?
Can I say something?
Yes, Marlene.
Yes, what I'd like to say, coming from South Africa can be very confusing because when you go to South Africa, they call themselves colored, Indian, Black, and the colored are in one section. She's the same color as, I can't remember her name that just spoke. The Blacks are the other section, and the Indians. And when you come here, and that's another confusion. So the bottom line, what I'd like to say, what these colonial people have created has just created a lot of confusion within us as a people. And we are given this impression that everyone from Africa is so Black and no any other shade to them. Everyone from the Caribbean, because of being raped and whatever, they're all light skinned and they're mixed. And it doesn't work like that, because there are people from the Caribbean that can be as Black as coal. And there are people from Africa can be as light as a mixed race. So is the perception we're given as a people, both Black and white people think the same thing as well. They'll look at you from Africa, if you're light, because that's what has been instilled in us as human beings by these people who've got are higher than us, and they create these divides, if you'd like to call it that. And I can understand where the confusion come in with her, because like we were told, African are blah, blah, blah. Africans were told Caribbeans are blah, 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 and quite insulted things about each other. And it creates a lot of damage. And we, as being able to mix with each other now, is understanding where the problems are, and we can address it with each other. And that's what I'd like to say. And it was great hearing what she was talking about, because I think even from the Caribbean you can identify with it, because people will question you because you're light. You're supposed to be you're supposed to come from maybe St. Lucia because they're lighter. It's just all these perception that has been made about human beings.
It's not true. Not all St. Lucians are light, because my parents are St. Lucians.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point. That's exactly my point. I know St. Lucian that is very dark, but people perceive that you are all meant to be light. So it's a lot of confusion being created.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's my point, yeah.
Thank you, Marlene. Thank you, Marlene. I see Pamela's unmuted.
Well, yes, and just to say thank you to MisFit, you know, for everything that you brought to the table. You know, I mean, it's nice to hear the diversity of your life experience. And the powerful thing for me is how you're championing your young man, your young king, you know, and because the battlefield is the mind, you know, and once we own the battlefield, nobody can defeat we. You understand me? There's one race on this planet, and that's the human race. So all the bits and pieces and this division and all these isms that they place within our mind, you know, so long as we are focused on that, we're not seeing where the enemy is coming from, you know? So for me, hearing you say that your journey means that you've come back to reclaiming your full identity of who you are and who you know yourself to be is really empowering for me, you know, as a elder. So just thank you for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think it would be nice to it would be nice to hear you sing before we take any questions. Do you mind serenading us with your amazing voice?
That'd be great.
Sure, no problem. I would love to. Thank you. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm all right. I feel good now. I'm good.
Beautiful.
And that's exactly what that song I'm about to play. Here we go. Please
Yeah,
do let me know if the volume's okay. All right?
Okay.
Can you hear that?
Yes, we can hear it. Yeah.
Loud enough? Yeah. Awesome. This is called I'm So Good. Hey. Sitting on the kitchen floor, listening to beats that unwrap my soul, trying to figure out what burnt these holes. How did I get here? What did I miss there? Ain't no worry, cause my heart is gold. Never follow man, cause I know he's Lord. I don't need no weapon, cause he's my sword. Never get it twisted, yeah, I know who to call. So I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. I'm good, yeah. I'm so good. I'm good, I'm good, I'm good. I'm good, yes, I'm good. Elevate, cause I know what I want. Trying to do everything to be strong. Battlefield, yeah, I'm fighting on a daily. Weak is kissing, but I fight for my baby. Generational curses, yeah, I'm breaking. Black single mama, no, that's I ain't playing these Hunger Games. With these chains, I'm breaking them off, cause I ain't no slave. Mentally, they tried to lock me in, but told me the Messiah has the key to within. Thrown off course sometimes, but he pulls me back in. Wings wish to fly, they struggling to keep me inside. Stay busy with that voodoo, juju, whatever it is that you do. But I'm good, I'm good. I'm good, yeah. I'm good, yeah. I'm so good, I'm good. I'm good, yeah. I'm good, yes, I'm good. Hey, oh no. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Ooh, yeah. Da 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 da. Hey, I'm good, I'm good. I'm good, yeah. I'm so good. I'm good, I'm good, yes, I'm good. All right, I know your mics are off, but I want you all to join in with me right now. I want you to say, I'm good, all right? We all good and we all blessed. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, hey,
I'm good.
I'm good.
I'm good. I'm good.
I'm good. I'm good. Yay! Oh, I'm so good.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. We so good. No matter what we face, no matter what we go through, guess what? We good.
You good.
We good. We got this.
Yeah, good.
Can I ask MisFit a question?
Beautiful.
Question? I want to ask, you know, is it the memories of South Africa being at home with your people and all them sort of stuff? Is that like your foundation? Is that what sort of you through to consciousness and stuff like this, remembering that? 'Cause that's how it was for me, being Nigerian, Jamaican, born in Britain. Foundation. Things I think about is things I think about, yeah, when I was Nigeria as a youngin, you know.
I really appreciate that that question. Sorry, that's pretty much how I've been talking since I've joined the movement, and why this new bill is so scary to me, because I just think of apartheid. I think of students fighting and being killed. I mean, we have International Anti-Racism Day. That's actually on the 21st, and that was for the lives that were lost in 1960 in Sharpeville, South Africa. 69 lives, just for a peaceful, not even a protest, a demonstration. And this, the back of my history, because I'm actually a revolution baby, really. I was born in 91, apartheid ended in 94, and I saw the change and the shift, and I still feel the trauma from that, because with what's happening right now, that's what triggers me. I just think I just came from where we fought for freedom. Now I'm in a country that colonized us, then sang for our freedom, and now you want to take our own voices away? Like, you're repeating history, and my son's gonna have to go through what my ancestors went through, and not only just him, all of us as human beings. And that scares the life out of me. And to answer your question, hell yes, my history and my background has so much to do with why I'm here, because I feel like a lot of us in the diaspora, we get lost in the code switching, we get lost in the pleasing, people pleasing, and it's enough. Like, why should I have to please you? My land pleased all of you, clearly, because you're all working off the back of it. So why should I have to now come and please you? And yeah, to answer that, hell yes, my history has definitely got a huge part to play with why I'm now an activist and proud to be one.
Yeah, thank you so much. I like the mix Nigerian and Jamaican. That is wahala.
My son is South African.
Wow, that's a mix. You guys, you just took all of it. You just wanted all of it in one person. You're blessed.
Now, of course now.
You know that kind of thing. Sorry, I just have to switch my accent a little bit. But is there any other? I could see Empress Judith's hands up. Empress.
Empress Judah.
Greetings. Thank you for your presentation. I just want to just say to the young sister that just performed that I don't know how familiar she is with the teachings of Marcus Messiah Garvey. So I really just want to direct her to something because I'm leaving the meeting. I've got an early start in the morning. Marcus Garvey talked about the issue of so-called coloureds in South Africa, I think in about 1920. Okay, so I would encourage you, if you haven't got the book already, please, and likewise Phoenix, if you haven't got the book, Philosophies and Opinions of Marcus Garvey, or Africa for the Africans. The whole issue and question of mixed race people, he dealt with it over 100 years ago, okay? I've tried to add to that conversation, but it's not a burning issue for me, I guess, because I've been taught by Marcus Garveyites beyond this platform. But I think it's really important that it's been raised this evening. But I also think the bigger picture is, how do we as Africans fight racism? But it is a conversation that needs to be had because of the increased numbers of the so-called mixed race population. So I hope that helps. I was blessed to meet Mrs. Winnie Mandela. So again, the history of South Azania is one that needs a whole Garvey village, I should imagine, that you'd be very much active in playing your role in that too. So yeah, Marcus Garvey, the first national hero of Jamaica, Africa for the Africans, philosophies and opinions for anyone else, in fact yourself, Marlene, as well. If you read that book, it answers the questions. If you need an extension of that in terms of where we are today, I can't emphasize it enough. A mixed Jamaican in multicultural and racist Britain. I am a Pan-Africanist. Thank you for listening. Ashe.
Thank
Thank
you so much.
Thank you so much for that. I know people would have loads of questions for, please, MisFit, drop your handles, drop your page, drop your YouTube. Let us know more. I want.
Lavinia, I'll leave. Sorry to cut you. I'll leave my email in the chat. Email me when the meeting's over and we can talk further.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay.
No problem. Ashe. Thanks, Empress Judah. We really appreciate all the hard work you do in the community. Another asset really celebrated. Thank you, Queen. And that being said, I want to take a moment to just celebrate you and ask you to put your social medias. People are going to have questions. Please do drop a question. And hopefully I think most of these panelists or these guest speakers are staying on, so they will be here to answer your questions and connect in every way. She did mention an event on Sunday, the 21st. Oh, Queen, please speak. MisFit. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, no. I just wanted to apologize if I used the HELL word. I hope I didn't offend anyone. I just reflected, so I really hope I didn't offend anyone or anything. So yeah, I just want to say that.
No, thank you.
I hope I didn't offend anyone. I hope I didn't, and I apologize.
Yeah, so no, thank you.
You're fine.
Yeah, that's fine. And on top of that, there's an event on the 21st. The Zoom link, if someone can help me from the crew to just drop the Zoom link for the International Day of Elimination of Racism, where you again can be lucky and blessed to see not only Auntie Jean, you get to see Phoenix, you get to see MisFit, you get to see Auntie Esther from Stop the Magnesium. They're like some amazing, I think Delia is on here from, there's amazing people that are going to be there, and we're reclaiming the day for elimination of racism and putting the African spin on it. We deserve it, and I want you to be able to be there on that day. Thank you. Definitely register also on the event page. We will appreciate that. That being said, we've got another queen here. who actually is running something. I think Nuni, are you here? You here?
I did see her come in.
Okay,
she hasn't been dropped out yet.
I'm here. Hi, Marvina.
You're
Hi,
here.
everyone.
Hi, Rochique.
Hello.
Rochique, sorry. Do you know what? I've always called you a different name, so I'm learning this Garvey name. So
I've got
I need
so
to
many. I've got so many, Marvina. Don't worry. Whichever one I'll
No.
answer to.
So I'm actually really proud. This young lady, this queen that I'm about to introduce, this is her first time ever speaking on a platform like this. But her idea was so. Sometimes when I speak to amazing young people when they're telling me their idea, sometimes all you need to do is just say it out or say it bigger, and then hear the get some constructive feedback to know how to be better or know whether that idea means something to someone. So I know Garvey Village is all about that, all about giving spaces for people to share their ideas. And I felt what better platform, because from this time, every last Friday of the month will be dedicated to young people. So although young people listening to this, you've got some amazing idea, you want to do something great. In fact, you might want to come and update us on whatever ideas or visions or things you're doing. Let us know, because this is it. And I am about to introduce the one and only co-founder of Queen Nation. I call you Nuni, but you can introduce yourself in the government name you call yourself, and I'll let you go. Can we all just give her a thumbs up and clap for her as she comes in? Thank you. Big up, Queen.
Thank you.
And you got this. You got this. You got this. I'm proud of you.
Hi, everyone.
That's it.
Rochique, also known as Nuni, whichever one. Like Marvina said, I don't speak out a lot. I'm very, very shy and reserved. But her and Marvina and Sasha have convinced me to start to speak out, as I've had certain ideas to bring to the table. We're currently starting up a charity called Queen's Nation, and basically it's for us as Black women, Black queens, to empower one another and promote each other, whether it's to do with small businesses or things that are going on in family life. You know, sometimes you need that somebody to turn to be able to share it with and feel trustworthy enough to. So we're going to target that. Our main focus are the younger generation, but obviously as queens and elderlies, we have to set that example. So basically the charity is just going to be about promoting one another, getting our young Black queens to grow to know that they are queens more than anything. And yeah, that's it basically. But like I said, I'm just starting up, so bear with me. I'm not much of a speaker, so I'm trying at this moment. But yeah, once things are all mapped out and there's structure to it, then we will let everybody know. But for now, we're just starting it up, and we've got a lot of other things going on as well as that. So just look out for it, basically. And I do believe that it can be a big accomplishment for all of us.
Yeah, I think that's very good. I think that's very good, man. You know, on Instagram, you see Black Child Agenda, and there's another lady, the same lady, Black Child Agenda, and there's another one, Black British Parent, doing stuff, you know.
I think it's important. Yeah. I do think it's important because us as women and, well, as Black women, we don't value ourselves enough. And it takes somebody from the outside to say, like, you've got it. And even sometimes we still don't. But like I said, Marvina and Sister Sasha have been a big encouragement to me. I always got the ideas, but like I said, I'm not much of a speaker, so I don't really speak out on much. But I think this is the time for me to take that heard and start to let my voice be heard. So yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. First of all, I want
I know
to really...
it's not much, but right now my palm of my hands are sweating. I'm sitting in the car.
You've made a start. That's the main thing. You made a start.
I need to celebrate you. I need to celebrate. I need other people to understand that just because you can see people speak, it's not easy. It takes a lot to get to that stage. And sis, you delivered it. It was like you did your best and you made sure we understood exactly the message of what your organization was. And that's it. So there will be another time. You got another month in advance now. This month, publicly, when you say it, you're manifesting it. So a month time, giving you heads up, you will come and tell us the next step you've taken. By then, you'll be ready. And there's so many elders in this space. There's so many young people in this space. We are all rooting for you. And another thing about what the Garvey village is trying to do for young people, network with each other, try and get involved with each other, support each other, amplify each other's voices. And that's what it should be, unity. MisFit wants to say something to you.
Okay.
Hello, gorgeous. I just wanted to say to you,
hi.
I know exactly, hi. I just wanted to say, I know exactly where you are, and being a presenter and a host, that's one thing. But actually now your own opinion and your own values and your views, that's another thing, right? And I would say Phoenix and Marvina are something else. They've actually helped me to find my voice. I know exactly what place you are in right now. I was stuttering, I was shaking, I was sweating, I was asking them questions. Should I say this? Can I say this? But I don't know what to say. You started, and just to go on the back of that, from where you were, and I still kind of am. You got it, sis. You just hit the road running now. Now you've opened your mouth, never shut up, and never ever let anybody shut you up. That's what I'm
Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much.
Oh my God.
I do. Really do. I really
That was
do.
beautiful advice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions, anyone? Or sis, do you have anything to say? Or
no, I'm grateful to be on this platform today. I was kind of thrown in at the deep end, and Marvina was like, okay, I'm gonna put you on. I'm saying, Marvina, you sure I'm ready for this? She's like, sis, come on, you can do it. So I said, you know what? Let me just park up right now. Because I am sweating. But it is a pleasure being on here. I love coming on here and listening to you guys. So
that is beautiful. Thank you. You've got two questions. You've got two people who want to ask you a question. First, Jacqueline.
Hello.
Jacqueline.
Good evening to you all. It's not so much a question, it's just actually a statement. And it's just about having your voice heard. I think it's quite important actually. This can transcend into relationships, into the workplace, all sorts of things that can actually hold us back. So therefore, you've actually got a group of people that actually can empower you to give you the strength to deliver what you've got to say. I think is very strong, because as I said again, there's so much of women that's actually hold things back or take things on board, or even in relationships, as I said again, or in a workplace that they're not happy with, but because they haven't got the strength and the conviction to state how they feel or to carry it through, they suppress it.
And
So
I've been in that situation so many times. This is why I thought like this is actually a good idea, especially because I have had examples and influences, especially Marvina and Sasha. They've played a big part in it. I'm good with giving advice and speaking to people on a one-to-one, but platforms and big crowds, it's really not me. I don't even do speeches at family events. But now that I've made that step, I'm gonna definitely try to be consistent with it. You lot just have to bear with me, because nerves do get in the way. But
you will actually find on this platform we empower each other.
Yeah,
so you find
I have felt that. That's why I didn't too mind coming in, because I've been coming like when you lot have your meetings, and I've been sitting in and listening.
Well done.
Thank you.
Just keep going forward.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you. You got another question from Chukwunie. I hope I pronounced your name correctly.
Yes, Auntie Jean. Yeah, you actually did pronounce my name correct.
Oh, brilliant.
I'm quite surprised by that as well, because not because of you, but because so many people don't pronounce my name right.
Okay.
But yes, the question I had, I want to know if you're from North London, because you sound like you got a North London accent. Is it Rochique? Sound like, I don't know if it's the soil or what.
I'm a South Londoner.
South, or it's a Londoner. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That was my question really. But yeah, the women here, I guess, will on this group will encourage you, and that's like they've been saying and pushing. But like I said, with the Instagram stuff, that's what's gaining the people, those individuals' popularity. I think it's Cheryl, their name, and the Black Child Agenda, and another one, Black British Parent. Yeah, but so there's if you promote via social media and here and can contribute, you know.
Oh, thank you so much. I will definitely take that into consideration. And as a male, also, I'm grateful for the advice, because, like I said, well, later on down the line, you lot will get to know more about me. But thank you so much. I appreciate all of you on here. I'm not even. It's coming from the heart. Like I said, every week, most of the time when you don't keep your online events, I'm in listening, but I don't say much. So I'm glad. I'm grateful for it.
And we appreciate that.
Do you? Can I ask a question? Is it that you have children yourself and you want to get more? You want to have an exchange of dialogue, I guess, to sort of increase yourself and others, right?
I do. I have 2 children, 2 boys, but obviously growing up and going through a lot of different experiences, I thought to focus on us as women, Black queens. We don't get acknowledged enough, and I think we should, because we are strong. We are strong, not even just as women, but as a Black nation. And I think it's time that the women got some praise for it. And that's what it's about, just promoting one another to build. We can all win.
Yeah, I agree. I've had some brilliant. I'm a social worker, a mental health social worker.
Okay.
And I wouldn't have my degree or my job if it wasn't for Black women helping me down the line. You know, helping me with. I studied at South Bank, and there was a wicked lecturer there that helped me with my dissertation.
Exactly.
If she didn't help me, I wouldn't be eating.
Exactly. There was another meeting, I think, that I'm sure it was on this meeting platform, I'm not sure. But a lady came on and she was explaining to us about a movie called The Bone Collector, which I've seen. And she was saying that the nurse, her example was the nurse who played Queen Latifah. Queen Latifah played the nurse, and she wasn't acknowledged when really she was doing the majority of everything in that movie, because she was holding it all together. And I thought that, wow, like you actually noticed that. You saw that in the movie and actually noticed it. And I also noticed it because I've watched it many years ago, but obviously back then I wasn't thinking of, promoting us as women and highlighting points like that. But when she highlighted it, I said, yeah, I think it's now that I need to start talking up about Queen's Nation, because we're not acknowledged enough.
And I think one thing I want to say is that also this is a young lady that also supports a lot of amazing young people. She actually is a phenomenal youth worker. She also sits there and really builds every single person around her. And when she first told me about Queen Nation, and I think she thought I forgot about it. It was on an idle conversation where I was really just tell me what you love doing, and the passion that came from your voice. It came from a humility of wanting to see the African woman win, wanting to enhance and uplift African women voices, looking at that medium of everybody, regardless of who you are, celebrating the Black woman, because we're the most hated, disrespected. I remember you were saying this to me, and on the back, and I think this is where you sit and the strength that you want to provide with it, where the world needs to see more phenomenal Black women celebrating each other, and I celebrate you, and speaking truth to power all day, every day. And men can do the same, and I thank you, brother, for doing that, because it takes all of us to do it. So thank you for that.
Definitely.
And I've got MisFit's hands, and then I'm going to move to...
First, I think there's Pauline wanted to say something, even though she's changed her name to Delroy, and then we can go on to MisFit music.
Yeah, I had to say that I touched something on my computer and on my phone, and it locked me out, so I had to think quick.
I don't recognize you.
And that alias no.
Oh.
So, yeah. So yeah. So just thank you very much for that young lady that just spoke. You know, because it's really important that, you know, if you think about your school journey, right? We weren't encouraged really to talk, you know, to have a voice. You understand me? So one of the things about our silence, you know, it's part of the internalized oppression, you know, of so many boys and girls, you know, apart from, that don't really talk. We don't express ourselves and talk our truth, you know. So I'm so stoked to hear your, you know, Queen Nation, you know, that this idea has been birthed by you, you know, and it's absolutely beautiful. And yeah, you know, you've got every sister on the planet behind you, you know, because our ancestors have walked ahead and we're now walking in their footsteps. And young women like you are going to be leading, and not going to be, you are leading the next generation. So, you know, don't underestimate anything that you bring to the table, you know. And sometimes, you know, that journey, that quietness, it's been a learning, you know. Sometimes you have to just be quiet and watch and observe. Now you're gonna talk, and in future, I mean, Boris has got nothing on you, you know what I mean? You know. Oh yeah. Yeah, just be proud. Never underestimate what you do, and we appreciate and value you. So thank you.
Well said.
Thank you.
You guys are making me so emotional. Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah, this is the place for the emotion. We can get to bring the emotion right here, sir. Because we have to lock it down 9 times out of 10. We can't do it. You know, and just pour through. You know what I mean? So you get to be celebrated. Your tears are welcomed here. They're tears of healing, you know, and empowerment. Yeah.
Well said.
Thank you. Thank you. MisFit Music, did you have a question? To give
it wasn't a question, just a statement, and I do apologize. I know it's a question, but I really wanted to empower our sister by saying, again, going back off my experience, I was the most confident, vibrant, bubbly, and I am, she's back, but I was, once upon a time, confident. And obviously with my history and where I come from, I've already spoken about that. And then when I came here, I lost my voice, I lost my confidence, I was cornered. And the main thing, again, I have to go back to Marvina and Phoenix, and they said, your voice matters, this is your time. They will profess to this. I bawled my eyes out for the simple fact that I just like you and just like other queens, we're always pushed to the side. We're always made to feel like failures. We're like good for nothing. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. And even when you put your best foot forward and get knocked back, all of those knockbacks are so detrimental to our health, physically, mentally, spiritually, and the connection that we have to what we want to do. I've said it in the comments like 100 times, I'm in, because I've never, like, again, I have never found people I've never found my tribe. I've never found my people. I've tried to find it amongst the girls, and even in our own communities, we sometimes are our own worst enemies. And I've faced that, and I've had to swallow that and understand that hurt people. Once we start taking it so personal and actually start acknowledging you're in pain, and let me acknowledge your pain and not take it personal and actually heal. I am 100,000 infinity and beyond % behind this, because this is something that I'm also for. I have your back, whatever you need, whatever you want, whatever time, performance, presenting, hosting, TV station, I've got you. Like, this is something that is so needed, especially right now. I'm so glad that you actually found your voice to do it and step forward. Like, this is just an amazing time to be in, as much as we're so suppressed right now.
This is just overwhelming.
It's like, it's so exciting to be alive right now, because we all feel like purpose. And to have all of these Black women, the elders, the youngers that can teach us. Exactly. Now, having that fire, oh, girl, I know exactly where you're at. And I just wanted to just go ahead, do your thing, girl, do your thing. Yeah.
Thank you, MisFit. It's good to hear. Thank you very much, MisFit. It's good to hear some wise words from some young shoulders. And that means that it gives us good stead. We're in good stead. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Still we rise. Still we rise.
Yes.
Shukuniye?
Yeah. I just want to give a bit of testimony about myself, man, because it seems like this is a good group of people to share your story with. I don't really, I know my voice now. I didn't know my voice at all until probably 2020, 2019. You know what I mean? Knowing the importance of my voice and to speak up. I work in mental health. I've been a service user myself. I've been a mental health service user since 19, my transition sort of age. And being drugged up, being medicated up, all that suppresses and sedates who you are. And the moment I found my own voice, that's when I started fighting back and speaking to psychiatrists and nurses and telling them, nah, I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to business with that. Because the main motivation was my children. I got 3 girls, and I can't really function or help them at my apex level or my top level if I'm all sedated and stuff like that. And now every day is a battle. Every day is a battle against supremacy or white supremacy. It's like now I'm not sedated. I see the reality that a lot of Black African people, Black people, mixed race people, of our kind, the melanated kind, what we experience. And I feel bad to my missus, probably drugged up as well. But it's like, yeah. So even I could go into all the issues, my whole life story with my wife and kids and the issues that we're facing now. But I've read some stuff about, like Jill Scott. Jill Scott says, I don't know if MisFit heard this lyric, the Jill Scott lyric saying, "A man who fights with the devils," you know what I mean? It's impressive or whatever, but that's my reality. Every day is a battle. So I don't know what women in my 20 years of blindness, what Black women have been dealing with on a day-to-day. I mean, and Black women helped me get my degree and helped me in my job to settle as I move from different jobs and money or whatever to survive. I would definitely say that the racism and the white supremacy is definitely holding Black men back, as well as a lot of Black men are blind to I don't know. A lot of Black men I speak to, they're just not there. They're just not there, man. You know what I mean? some of my friends, they seem to be there and present. You know what I mean? But I definitely know there's concerted effort from white supremacy to destroy the Black family and to keep us away from each other. Yeah,
indeed.
I mean, and it's a thing as they try and oppress me, and it's not good. It's disgusting because it's actually affecting my family. I mean, and when I see these schoolboys out there, I feel sad, man. I feel happy in a sense because I feel like I'm at a stage where I can help them and stuff like that, and I can give a vibe or energy, spirit or whatever, or influence, and I'm not afraid to do so. But I'll definitely say that it's a horrible situation, man, that we're in, and you know, and it feeds into, you know, I'm trying to learn not to be so emotionally involved with these infidels or these people, whatever, you know, and just deal with it on a certain level. But it's just a sad state of affairs, man. For me personally, for the years I missed. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. Can I just say, firstly, I give honor and glory to your mum who chose to have you and nurture you and carry you, and for the Creator who chose to make you for a time such as this, you know. And a lot of our experience sometimes that we go through is weaponizing us so that we can know how to deal and where to stand in the battle, you know. So with some of the things that you have been through, and each of us will have a story, you know, but the journey has strengthened us and given us a connection to the warrior spirits that is within us, that make you be able to stand for your girls, to stand for your wife, and to hold the direction that you can now look at the boys, even though you're sad, but you can still have an idea of a vision of what you can share with them, you know? So, and still even having the conversation that you're having with your brothers, as a man, they can listen to you, you know, you and them can reason and talk and stuff like that. Maybe if their woman say, or somebody else says it, they don't take it on board, you know, but because you and them can have that dialogue, the dialogue is a start, you know, and as a people, we have to realize that, and a little time them I try to kill we, you understand me? Yeah. And a little methods and ways they try to obliterate us, you understand? And still we rise. So there is something in you. Them say greater is in you than is in the world. You know what I mean? Each of us carry something great. And we don't even know, some of us don't know. But the Caucasian, they know. You know, you carry something with you as a conscious Black man that they fear more than a gun. Because you can awaken thousands. Yeah. You know, so your journey isn't wasted. You know, it's hard, but the other thing is now you are not alone. You know, we are connected here, you know, and things are going on. You understand me? There's a universal force happening in this world at the moment. That's why all this consciousness, that's why we have been summoned from wherever we were to be here at this appointed time to have this dialogue, this conversation. We could be wherever, watching Zoom, whatever. We could be anywhere else, you understand me? Watching Netflix or whatever. But each of us decided, called by a power greater than ourselves, to be participating in this. Yes. You know? So we have to realize that we're in a battle, you know, and the enemy is always strategizing. And now we're beginning to develop consciousness, organizations, and all sorts of things that this is the day that they dreaded. And this is just the beginning. And it's only going to be dominated when we start living in the fullness of who we truly are, you know, and we have to self-define. We cannot keep going to the Caucasians' books, their ideology, their thinking, their strategies, you know, and even if you read it, if it said black, you know it says white. If it said white, you know it said black. Because them never tell the truth from morning. You understand me? So let me stop there, you know? But there's something powerful about being able to articulate and talk with your brothers then, you know? So thank you for doing that.
Thank you, sis.
Kuchiga Gulia in Swahili.
Thank you, sis. I did notice before we finish here, Rochique had her hand raised, and also MisFit. Have you still got something that you'd like to say?
I'm going to shut up now.
Sorry, I was
No
just
problem.
talking with my son. Apologies. What did you ask me for? Apologies. If
I saw your hand was raised previously.
Was it?
Yeah.
I apologize. That was by mistake. I probably tapped something. So yes, I do apologize.
No problem.
But shout out to the brother that just spoke. And I'm really appreciative of this space of healing and understanding. And there goes my son, sorry. And the fact that the elders have accepted us in this room and we can relate so much and actually learn from each other, that's powerful, because I always feel like we learn from the elders. And the fact that something's been taken from us.
Been taken.
I'm speechless. Thank you.
It's been taken.
Give thanks. Give thanks.
Yeah, I've been taken.
Rochique, and then we finish off with Chukunye.
Sorry guys, it's kind of thrown me off a bit, but it was about something that the king said before in the last speech about young black men just not understanding women, and that has a lot of connection to do with Queen's Nation, because I don't want anybody to feel like Queen's Nation is only about women. I want our kings to stand and also uplift us as well. So I totally understand where he's at and the experiences that he's been through, but it's good that he spoke out, and it is a great thing to do. Just keep standing for us as black people. But yeah, it was a great presentation, and I'm gonna shoot off quickly now, but I thank you guys for having me on this platform. It's been a pleasure. I'm so overwhelmed right now. Thank you to Marvina who brought me in. Thank you, Auntie Jean, for having me. And
you're welcome.
It's love all over, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you, darling. Love you, sis.
Queen
Nation.
Queen Nation.
Queen Nation. All right, then, definitely. That's it.
Bye.
Bye. I think I also want to thank my brother.
He just wants to say his last words.
Yeah, thanks. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think I personally, I just want to put it out there to everyone here that's taking part in this. Yeah, it does feel like a safe space. But I still reason with my boys or anyone, but it does feel like people who are awake and woke or whatever, you know, like just awake and to the realities of today. So that's why I took part in the group, and obviously from the WhatsApp groups that I'm getting feeds getting. So that's why I think with Zoom chat. I just want to say, I mean, like Christianity, I'm not a Christian in a sense where, you know, I'm in the Church of England or something like this, but I'll definitely say that the rituals as far as like baptism and, you know, water, not necessarily a pool, but like, you know, just baptism and certain things that I've been through have helped me get to a level of consciousness where they want us to be. You know what I mean? So with our men or young boys, I think it's important to, I guess, to to the ritual element. I mean, as far as like water and baptism and stuff like that, and not necessarily. I just feel that people need to be, you know, to connect with self and their history, and not Christianity, but just knowing the elements of life. It's not necessarily just ancestors and spirituality. In my view, maybe I'll keep growing and get there and see how the ancestors link up and stuff like that. But there's a lot of knowledge about sun and the moon and the sun and the moon and things that these white people and infidels are privy to that they won't open our eyes up to. So we need to keep on having experiences and not just be work. You know, we have to try and we just have to try and experience and live life instead of having like the other lady, the strong Caribbean lady. I see so much of it in society as well. Lady similar. It's self. You need to self-define, and you have to try and control your circumstances. You know, control what you do, not rather things happening to you, being passive and then shutting up. You need to know what you want to do, and all of that will come from spirituality. You know, I'm a strong believer in that. You can't even control your steps, or maybe in certain situations, maybe but I definitely feel that the elements of life is necessary to bring an awakening. I'll leave it at that. Thank you, Auntie Jean.
Thank you, Chukunye. Thank you. And thank you for being open with us. And thank you for using this platform for doing that. Thank you.
And I wanted to say to you, bro, that there is a big thing about decolonizing our spirituality. And what you've touched there is going to really help a lot of young people to realize that we need to understand what these things that we do. Christiani, I was making sure Auntie Christiani does something about untethering the soul, and she does something around, you know, like really, I think we did decolonize our spirituality or religion the other time, and that's how I came into the space. And there are loads of educational tools in African cultural markets sometimes, and sometimes, you know, like it pops up during the week. Please just keep looking at Auntie Jean's emails when they come through. They're little gems sometimes that if you miss it, it might be hard. Or like, I think maybe we might think about doing something, if you're interested, where we can work with some young people and some other spiritual people to like bring content for young people around that. And thanks for sharing stuff around mental health and well-being, because we don't talk. There's that shame and stigma around mental health. And you sharing that, I promise you, would have helped someone listening to it, knowing that they're not alone in that struggle. Yeah. So it's a lot of bravery of what you've done today, King. Absolutely. And I celebrate you so much. Thank you for being here. So blessings. Thank you. Absolutely. I think right now, sorry.
There's just one Delroy quickly, and then we're going to be moving on.
Pamela.
No, is it Delroy?
Oh, it's definitely you now, Delroy. You're all right.
Yeah. Just wanted to I mean, just before I say anything, I just want to big up to all the speakers, and just the excellence of everything that's been shared this evening. Just all of that, before I say anything, and then just to kind of echo Chukunye, and just to echo what MisFit musical has said, that the thing of spirituality is all the elements, you know, whether it's water, whether it's fire, whether it's earth, whether it's air, you know, whether it's the minerals, whether it's the mountains, anything that is present out there in the world, in the cosmos, is part of African and indigenous spirituality. And it precedes what we call Christianity. So I accept what you say about whether the rituals, whether they're baptism, what we call baptism now, or anything like that, the elements have their power and they play their part in our healing. But to not restrict ourselves or be confined by the definitions that are being given to us over the past 2000 or so years. Yeah. So it's inherent in our culture, in our spirituality, that we go to these elements, that we interact with them, and that we interact with the cosmos, whether it's the moon, the sun, the planets, or these multifarious beings, yeah, multi beings that are present in the cosmos that support beyond the ancestors and in concert with the ancestors, yeah, all of our well-being. So I want to acknowledge that, but I also want to encourage you to encourage the young men and the older men and the women, yeah, to stay in touch with the things that and recognize them as part of our culture indigenously. Yeah, so it doesn't belong to anybody else who's named it anything else but what we know it to be. Yeah, and that's all I want to say, really.
Thank you.
I'm with you, and I acknowledge the powers that you mentioned, but also accept it as part of our indigenosity. That's all I've got to say.
Thank you, Delroy. And I see you're wearing your prize, one of your prizes from the raffle.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Wonderful. With that, sorry, I was going to say, are you ready to say something? Because I was going to move on to where you're going to introduce Brother Daniel.
I was going to introduce, you could go with Brother Daniel. I think. Okay.
All right, thank you.
So just wanted to remind you that Ruth is here too.
Yes, I noticed that Ruth has joined us. Thank you. Brother Daniel, please open your mic and your screen and introduce yourself. Let us know what's happening, who you are, what you do, and also what's happening there. I'll leave that to you. You let us know what's going to happen.
Oh dear. Good evening, greetings, peace and blessings to each and every one. I've been listening very keenly and very intently to all what's being said this evening. And it is time for us to take our rightful place and start to communicate with each other in an embracing and warm way where we can be open and don't feel afraid to be ourselves anymore. So I'm really pleased to hear what I've been hearing, and keep up the good work. That's all I can say. Keep up the good work. My name is Daniel Pink. I run an organization by the name of Ubuntu Learning and Leadership and Community. And we've been working in the Lewisham Borough for the best part of over 15 years with young people and families, looking about how we empower our community and empower our children to take charge and take responsibility for their own lives and their destiny, but also to be aware of the environment in which we live and how we must utilize the information to empower and benefit ourselves. And so we run an organization also out of Ubuntu that's called Coffee Saturday. Coffee Saturday happens the second Saturday of every month from 10:30 in the morning until 12:30, where adults, parents can come and talk about the issues that are impacting their everyday life. Because, you know, when you're on the wine press, as Bob Marley said, trotting on the wine press, it's a very tiring thing when you're just on the treadmill going round and round and round and round, and you don't have no time to even see yourself in any qualitative kind of way. So Coffee Saturday gives people the opportunity to kind of talk, meet, socialize, network, and support and build relationships with each other so that we can start to build trust, because trust is a very key thing amongst our community. And the only way you're going to build trust is by building meaningful relationships. And so out of Coffee Saturday, we also have a group called the Lewisham Education Group, which came about because of a report that was written in April 2016 that really outlined what was the state of education for African Caribbean children within the London Borough of Lewisham. It was a 98-page report. Cheryl knows about the report. Yeah, that's right, Cheryl. I'm calling your name. You can't get away. And
I knew you was going to call me. I was sitting there all quietly, not to say anything.
No chance. That's not going to happen. There was a 98-page report that was written that really outlined what was the state of education for African Caribbean children in secondary schools. And what it really said was that 84% of our children at that time couldn't get 5 GCSEs, A to C, including maths and English. Now that number is 1 to 9, what they use now. They don't use the A to C no more. But that brought up something for me that really said that in that report, it basically said, in terms of our children moving on to higher education and employment, their future was virtually nil. And if 84% of your children in a borough can't get 5 GCSEs, it's not about what future they have. We as adults don't have no future either. If they're our children and they can't progress and go forward, we can't progress and go forward. And so we took out a petition against Lewisham Council and been engaging with the council for a number of years over what they're going to do about the state of education. But it wasn't really just to challenge Lewisham Council to say that Lewisham Council should come up with the answers and they must be the one to solve our problems. At the end of the day, I'm very clear in my mind, Lewisham Council didn't lie down with us to make our children. We were the ones who lied down and met them, and we're the ones who are responsible for them, and we're the ones who are supposed to pay some attention to what's going on with our children. What are they doing, how they're getting on, and what needs to be done for them to achieve and become the people that they need to be. So it's always been a It's always been a two-pronged approach. Thank you, Cheryl. I like that. It's good that you're there. It's always been a two-pronged approach that at the end of the day, we as a community must take responsibility for our children. Not only must we take responsibility for our children, we must start to play a part within our children's schooling. That means whether it's becoming governors or making sure that you're involved in parents' forums inside the school, so that you know what's going on with your children inside the school. And what I'm just sad to say is that with 84% of our children not being able to get 5 GCSEs, what that actually says is we don't know what's going inside the school. We don't know what's going on inside the schools. And I think it's not about blame, because I understand that we live in a capitalist country, and a capitalist country that demands you to go to work in order to put butter and bread on the table. It's a hard life. It's not an easy road. But what I am saying is that if we say it takes a village to raise the child, even if you can't be there to do the things for your child, be proactive and connect your children into organizations and groups that are in the community that can support your children and support you and take a little bit of the pressure off of you. And even if you can't get involved in community groups and organizations, talk to your girlfriends, call a few of them around, some of your man friend them, sit down and talk about some of the issues that is impacting our life. And none of us can't hide from what is going on today, because COVID-19 has got us lick out all over the place. And you've seen all the inequalities that have come out. 1 minute it's COVID-19, and then the next thing they're telling you, we're the ones who are dying from it, people of color, and now people of color is dying from it. Then they're deporting our people out the country at the same said time and telling us that we must come out their place. And then by the time you're trying to get your head around, they're deporting our people. Next thing then tell you, say, you have to take the vaccine because you need to take it first. And you can't even get time to breathe because they're just pushing things on you so fast, you can't even get time to think. And so now that they're telling us that we have to get the vaccine, by the time we're to get the vaccine, George Floyd, a man's got his knee on a man's neck and is killing him, and kill him dead in 8 minutes, 46 seconds. And at the end of the day, we've seen the loss of George Floyd. And as we think to ourselves, boy, things can't really get no worse, you know. By January the 6th, the white people them decide to storm the White House in the United States of America. We've never seen them things in all the time that we've been alive in our life. We've not seen these things. Had it had been us that had stormed the White House, you'd have found a whole heap of dead body outside the White House. That's what would have been the reality. And just as you're thinking to yourself, Rati, the people them bad, they must storm the White House. What a thing, what a thing, what a thing. As you're just getting settled to think, say, boy, well, it can't get no worse than that. Harry and Meghan, we want to know what color your picnic going to be. Now, beloved, how much more do you need in order for you to understand that the people them don't like you? Them really don't like you. And if they don't like you, it means that we've got to learn to start liking ourselves. And so we're being pushed further and further to have to get to come together. We're going to have to come together, whether we like it or not. We're going to get forced. And to tell you the honest truth, this is me. People might not like it, but you know, more beaten for we if we don't want to come together until we decide to come together and stop with foolishness. Because there's 65 million of these people live in this country, beloved. We make up a small population of this country. You're not just going to overturn them like that. But what we do have is us. And when we turn in on us and work together with us and we and ourselves, that's where our real power lies. The power lies within us, not outside of us. It lies within. And when we stop looking for approval from them outside of ourselves, we will be able to transform by working from inside ourselves, the environment in which we live. So why am I saying all that? I'm saying all of that because on Monday, the 22nd of March, 6:30 to 8:30, we're going to be having what we call the Lewisham Black Parents Forum, where we're inviting parents to come and talk about what's been going on with the whole COVID-19 lockdown and what's happening with their children in school and all of those kind of things. And so we want to look at how we can support our community. My organization, Ubuntu, and there are a number of other organizations, are now offering their services to the community, that people can now access services in the community that can support them. We have people who are looking to support parents to go into school and support parents with children who are being excluded, or if they have problems, they can go in and support them. We've got people who've got programs that run for children so they can help to develop their self-esteem and confidence around their identity. There's going to be a number of groups that will be representing on that day, and there's going to be a space for parents to have a talk about how they're feeling and what's going on for them. And so that's going to be happening on the 22nd of March at 6:30 in the evening. I don't know, do you want me to play something to you of that, Auntie Jean? I don't know what you want me to do.
Yes, quickly.
Sarah,
How long
I don't
is
know
it?
if you put it in the chat group.
Yeah, it's in the chat. I've been putting
it's in the chat group.
Yeah,
yes.
From ages ago, I've put it in the chat.
Oh, lovely. That's what we love to, that's what we like.
That's all right. I know.
Okay. Do you want to do that? Quickly just play that to round off?
All right, I'll play that little video. I think you might need me to share my screen.
Yeah, you've got it.
So let me see if I can do something, and just bear with me, and then I'll end it there. But this is what we're going to be looking at. So can you see that, Auntie Jean?
Yes, yes, we can see it. Thank you.
Okay, so here is our sister Susan, who's going to tell us a little bit about it. Please register and get yourself booked on. You just click on the link, and it will take you to get registered, and then you'll be there for Monday, and hopefully we'll have a great time. So here we go.
Greetings all, my name is Susan from the Lewisham Education Group, inviting all parents on the 22nd of March to come and join us in the Black Parent Forum at 6:30 to 8:30. Please register, notify all your friends and as much of your family, and please bring the children where possible with you. We are addressing children ages 5 to 18.
And so there you get it. There you have it. She's addressing children ages, we're addressing children 5 to 18, and it's going to be going a little bit more in depth. But we've only got 2 hours to really get over what it is that we really want people to get themselves involved with. And I'm saying that you've got organizations that are now opening themselves up to be a service to parents and children in the community. Ubuntu is going to be offering themselves up to do online work and do homework things with children where maths and English are concerned. And there's other groups going to be doing it. So I'm just saying we've got to do for ourselves. We've got to help ourselves, but we live in this environment. So we must also hold the authorities to account for what's going on and what's happening. But more to the point, we must hold ourselves to account as people, because they never lie down and met these children with us. We made them, and we need to go and take charge of our children and set ourselves on a course where we will take charge of our own destiny and become the people that we are destined to become. And whether we like it or not, and I'm saying this to everybody on this, whether we like it or not, we are going to be the world rulers, whether we like it or not. So either you want to come or you don't want to come, whichever way. That's the way it's going to be. So thank you very much, Auntie Jean, for letting me share that.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're more than welcome. I did see that, Phoenix, you did raise your hand. Would you still like to say something or make a comment?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that sounds absolutely incredible and so needed, especially with all the cuts to youth services and all these kind of things. And if we can help out in any way, I know a lot of people in our group have been really eager to try and get involved in getting into schools and providing arts teaching, because I think that's also so important in terms of emotional and spiritual development, and finding something to do, especially during this time of COVID, when it's not as possible to go out and meet friends and so on. Those kind of projects are really, really important. They empowered me when I was younger. So,
Shay, so would you like to share your details with Daniel? Phoenix.
Yeah, it's I'm going to put the email in the chat now. It's blackmusicmovement2020@gmail.com. I'll join up for the meeting as well. We'll be there and see how we can work together.
Excellent.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. MisFit?
I just want to say thank you for that. And I will be very, very honest. I'm a Black single mother struggling to keep my son's attention, to keep his focus. I've been doing my best. So to hear that this is happening, I can't put it in words. Just thank you. Because this is so fundamental and it's so needed, especially for us single parents, not just mothers, there are also single fathers. This is amazing that you're doing this, and I'm excited. And please do I will contact you about connecting it to Essex, because I think that it's really, really needed out here. It really is. And not just on my side, on my spectrum, but also there's a lot of white mothers here that have mixed children, and they don't know what to do. They don't even understand the hair. They don't understand the culture, let alone the education and what it means teaching and raising a child of mixed cultures and mixed races. So again, uncle, elder, I cannot thank you enough for that as a single parent, because that's something I have been looking for, support. Where can I look to? Where can I turn to help me with my child And even in the spectrum of just him being a boy child. In my culture, it is very, very important for the men to be involved in the boy child's life. And without that, and without mentors to guide them in a way a woman can't, and I have to be honest about that, there's ways that a woman can't raise a young boy. So for the fact that this is even already happening and I don't know about it, it's crazy. There's definitely some marketing that needs to go into that to get it everywhere. And I will do my best to get it pushed in Essex. I have contacts that I can link you up with that can make it happen here. Again, amazing. My soul today, like I've been on this journey, and each day I've been in these conversations and debates and whatever you want to call it. Like, it's just been so liberating, like, and freeing. The fact that we really are not alone. It's just that we need to get it out there and push it as much as we all can. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
It really is about us doing for us. And Garvey Village is one of those platforms that is pushing all of these things for us. And we thank you, Auntie Jean. We thank you, Cheryl. We thank all the team in Garvey Village for what you do, because without you, you know, it would be a lot more harder. So yes, one quarter, full basket.
Ashay.
Can I say something? Apart from having it in Essex, we need it in North London, West London.
We know all over.
Because we've got so much problem in those areas. I can't,
everywhere.
You know, I can't believe.
What I'd say to you, Marlene,
yeah.
what I'd say to you, as I would say to my sister over in Essex, is that we can look to start what you call Coffee Saturday groups over in those different various areas. You just have to get a group of people together and you can have your Coffee Saturday meetings, and we can link in and talk with each other and talk about what we're doing and share things with one another. So we can be all over the place. The best thing that has ever happened to us, apart from the fact that this lockdown has taken the lives of some of our people, the best thing is that we've had to learn to use this social media platform. And now you can be in many different meetings, all in your yard. You don't have to go nowhere no more. What a thing. You have to take government transport to go everywhere. You're not tired.
So one group can be connected to everywhere in London. But like the sister just said, a lot of people don't know about it, because if she wasn't on here, she wouldn't have known about it. And she's been looking for it for such a long time. So, somehow we've got to push it in those areas. And if people have schools and connection in those areas, that's where they need to push it, because the generation that's coming up need these help, because all these stabbing and attacks we're hearing of the young people is a lack of self-knowledge. And once we can get the self-knowledge into them and into their parents, we will see far less of these type of behavior that we're seeing. So South London, East London, North London, everywhere. And they can all link because of this exact thing that we've got now, this Zoom link. We haven't got to leave anywhere to go anywhere. So we got no excuse. So, you know, I'm quite passionate because I've done mentoring for young people, and, you know, in any way we can do it. Unfortunately, I'm not connected to a lot of young people because of my age, but I'm sure there's a lot of people who are connected to young people that can get the message out there to them that this thing exists.
Yes,
that's all I want to say.
Thank you so much, Marlene. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow, today has just been a blessing. I think I've smiled so much that my cheeks hurt, but it still gets better. So I want to say thank you, Uncle. But what's also important for those who are listening, for those who are watching, you can volunteer. What we want is also for young people to know that this is an opportunity for you to share your idea, get involved, support the Garvey village, make a difference. Auntie Patricia.
I just wanted, I don't know if you've seen it, but there's a request from Milton Moore to Daniel.
Okay.
Yeah, for a copy of the education. Can you provide the report?
The
on the
Lewisham Education
start of
Commission
education, yeah. Or the
I
web.
don't know if you can find it for me, Cheryl. I mean, that's
I knew you was gonna say. Wow, I tell you,
you know, it's love. It's love.
I'll put it in, or maybe Shaka, because if he's still around.
No problem.
I'll have a look and I'll put it in the chat.
Cheryl, I've shared the photo. I've shared the flyer.
What flyer?
For the parents forum.
No. I need the for the.
It needs the report.
Oh, okay. I'll get that.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Uncle, for coming into the space and educating us and showing us what opportunities that are there for our communities. And I want to just
no, I love you, you know, but me know why you make me too old before my time, you know.
Uncle, let me just say, I'll be honest
have little grey hair and all them kind of thing, but
there's no way I can say anything other than that. Me,
all right.
I'm not meant to be an auntie. I'm tired of people calling me auntie. I keep telling them I'm young, but can you imagine? So it's out of respect and out of love, but also it's the wisdom you brought today into the space. I know that Phoenix and MisFit would love to support you moving forward. And I know that I'm going to try and see how I can support you any way we can. But also I want to really encourage people listening and watching. The Garvey village needs you. If you've got some brilliant ideas, next month, last Friday of every month, it's for young people. If you know some phenomenal young people that have their stories that are changing the world, we're galvanizing African youth because their voice matters so much. And we want to celebrate just the excellence that we are. That being said, we've got another amazing young person, but I'm going to let Phoenix introduce this queen. And Phoenix, are you ready?
Just want to say quickly, thank you to Daniel. Thank you.
Thank you, Uncle
David. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you, Uncle Daniel.
It's all right. It's all right.
So you get you after.
Starting this off, you know. I know the people that I can see them. It's all right. I've got them. Don't worry. Uncle coming.
Daniel.
Just sign up. Get onto the meeting on Monday. It's up to us to take charge of our destiny and make things happen and stop begging other people for approval to be ourselves. Them things is foolishness. That time is done. So let's get busy. Take care. One love.
Indeed, Daniel, indeed.
I just want to say you need to embrace the label.
No, hey. Listen, you know me love you, Patricia, but if you start with these things in this time of the evening, yeah. All right.
So I'm going to ask Phoenix because our time is so well spent. But I will thank you again. Thank you so much. Phoenix, are you ready to introduce?
Sorry, Marvina.
Yes?
Sorry, very quickly. I've shared the report in the chat and the bits that are relevant have been highlighted. Please read it. It's summarized quite well, but it will show you the issues that our children are dealing with.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Phoenix, if you can do me the pleasure or an honor of introducing our next amazing queen.
Yeah.
Might be able to share some of her story before she goes ahead.
I think she dropped out.
She has, but I really wanted you guys to hear her voice. So I have a really short video clip I can play where she's singing, which
absolutely
also
amazing.
has a collation of our protest.
She's absolutely amazing because she was trying to get her on for the fundraiser we had for when we had the Free Heavyweight Kings, but I wasn't able to get her. So it's amazing that we got the links. Thank
Can
you.
I ask a quick question?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right, you've got 2 events on Monday that I can see in the chat.
Marlene, can we
Yeah.
stay until after?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
All right, no problem, no problem.
Right.
If someone could set my screen free to share.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry.
Okay, you got it.
Thank you. Yeah, this was our very first protest.
Sorry, Phoenix, can you enlarge the screen, please?
Sorry?
Can you enlarge the screen? Yes.
Yeah, and also, did you do the computer sound? Sound by computer?
Sorry?
You know when you did the screen share?
Yeah.
You do the sound via computer. You clicked on that.
Okay.
At the bottom left-hand corner, and screen optimize.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to start again.
That's right.
By the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like a river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but no. Change won't come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there beyond the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh, yes, and we see. I go to the movies and I go downtown. Someone keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh, yes, and we.
She has got such an amazing voice, absolutely beautiful, and I can't wait to get her on here live. Beautiful.
No, she will be here. She will be here next month. So do not miss it. Do not miss it. Make sure you get in here. And I think it's been a long time, definitely. And I want to celebrate Phoenix for being able to just network and give amazing Black artists the opportunity and the voice and influence. I want to just share something in this space, and I want us to understand that a lot of our young people are going through a lot, and they feel really invisible in this time. Mentally.
voicemail. I'm sorry, but the person.
Sorry.
Thank you, Marlene.
Yeah. And they're going through a lot, and I'm gonna bring it back to the Kill the Bill. The Kill the Bill that we're hearing right now. I know a lot of people are home and they don't understand how important for the younger generation to be able to go on the street sometimes, to be able to use your voice. 14 dead and nothing said. The Brixton riots. We can go on and talk about all the inequalities that we go through. This bill means we do not get to do that. This bill means that the heavy racial profiling, when police, they're already bad. Can you imagine how bad it would be? That means if you make noise and you're a nuisance, if you're gathering, that means anything other than a person who might, a white person sees it and thinks that that's a gathering, they can report you. It's that bad. You don't understand. It's not about just going to protest. And I know, Brother Phoenix, you know more around, me and you have talked about this, but there's so much implications that we don't understand. It includes, Ruth is back.
Look, it's Ruth.
Ruth is back. Ruth is back. Ruth, we're holding the fort for you. We listen to your music, and I'm shutting up because I want the Queen to speak.
Yes.
Are you there, my sister?
Quickly to introduce, Ruth is an absolutely beautiful young queen. There's no competition when it comes to music, but some people are simply blessed by our ancestors, by God, and by the universe. So Ruth, please come and share. Please come and share your amazing self with us.
Okay, hold on a second. One sec. Can you see me?
No, not yet.
Yeah. The anticipation is
Isn't it? It's just waiting.
You know, like it's just like.
Oh wait, do that again. Sorry, can you press that
appetites
again,
have been
please?
wetted already.
Oh, there we go. Okay, hold on a second. Sorry, I'm just getting ready. So I was trying to set up with 2 phones. It's a bit hard.
I was born by the river in a little town. Oh, just like a river, I've run them since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change gon' come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, hey, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's up there. Be on the side. It's been a long time coming, but no change gon' come. Oh, yes, it will. See, I go to movies and I go downtown. Start to me, don't have it's been a long time coming. No, change gon' come. Oh, yes, it will. Yeah. Then I go to my brother. Rest in peace, Stefan. I say, brother, how peace, but he winds up. Look me, bow down, bow down, bow down, all my days. I'm able to carry on. It's been a long time coming. No, change won't come. So easily.
Oh my
Thank you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Thank
Long
you.
time coming since you reach here.
Jehovah Jireh.
Wow.
Yo.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
You can find me on Instagram at I am Ruth Brown and at Black Music Movement. So.
Oh, sister, you've got me in tears right now.
Yes, me too.
Oh,
It's absolutely beautiful. Thank you. It's been
Sister,
a long
you've got
time
me
coming.
in tears. My son is clapping in the background if you cannot hear that.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
Totally amazing.
Yes, it's been a long time coming.
Yes, totally amazing. And I saw you live, singing out live in Peckham.
Yeah.
And I came up to you. Yeah, I was on my way to going to a meeting and I was late because I just couldn't move from hearing you. Voice is such amazing, beautiful.
Thank you. And have a nice night, everyone.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
can't just leave like that. Have a nice night, everyone. Excuse me? My sister, please, you can't just leave like that. So
we love you. I want to say it's an honor to have you in this space. It's an honor to have you on earth. It's an honor to see that someone like you uses your talent to move a crowd for our issues, for our voice. It's a privilege to be in your presence. Queen, we celebrate you. You're amazing. You're phenomenal. And thank you for being patient and coming back and blessing us. Thank you so much. We'd love to work with you more in the Garvey village. We think our young people need to hear more from you.
Oh, definitely.
Inspirational. Thank you so much. And you made my auntie cry. That means that's power to you all day, every day. Ancestors hear us. Is there anything you want to say to us before you go? I know you said you're just going. Oh, bless us. Just anything you want to say.
You're muted, Ruth.
Now I was just gonna say, let's just keep fighting the fight. So I won't stop fighting. So I'll just use what ancestors gave me to do what I can.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Have a nice night, everyone.
And you
Thank
too.
you.
Ashe, ashe, ashe. Oh.
What a day. And it's 10 o'clock now. Wow. We delivered.
Yes.
Did you enjoy our young people? Did you feel how amazing galvanizing our African youth could be? Would you want to be part of FIT? Do you know young people that are going to be out there that need to use their voice and showcase their talent and showcase what they're doing in the community? If you do, please send some message to Garvey Village on Facebook. You can find us on email us. We'll drop the link and we'll also have it on our Facebook page. Please contact us and let us know. We are looking for you to be involved. And this is a safe space. They nurture your idea. They encourage you. They really are here to make sure we platform your stories. Last Friday of every month, you get to be able to take hold. And you can be involved in planning what topics we do. Let us know what topics you want in the community, what you want in the space, and we'll make sure we do that. I am honored to have been your co-host to the Queen herself. I am learning. Thank you, aunties. I'm surrounded by queens, Auntie Patricia, Auntie Jean, Auntie Shez, Auntie Krisheni. I love you. Thank you for letting this happen and giving me the space. And thank you. I'll shut up now and pass it back. And to the young queen who is here, I am looking forward to you hosting this for me. One of these days, when you're ready, we've got a whole month to plan. And you can potentially help host this too, because young people, you've got that voice and we want to hear it. And we want you to take the baton and you can do it. So thank you for having us.
Thank you so much. You want to quickly mention about Sunday?
Oh, yes. So Sunday is International Day of Elimination of Racism. We've talked about it. It's going to be on United for Black Lives. It's going to be hosted by various platforms. We want you to get involved, get your ticket. It's free. You can make a donation. Make sure you donate to the Garvey Village, though, because guess what? We're going to make sure anyone that comes through here, please think about how you support the community. Donate your time, your skills. The only way we can eliminate racism, we need to educate, we need to unlearn, and we need to support and unite. And unity is the biggest thing. So we're going to learn about the International Decade of African People. We're going to hear some true accounts. We're going to do some great things. Thank you so much for being in the space. You can find me on Majestic Marvina. There's something magical about me. It's a Nigerian blood. You cannot replicate it or duplicate it. So make sure you take care. Thank you so much. Auntie Krishani's got
Krishini, yes. Would you like to say what you what you have on your mind?
Hi there, good evening. Just a reminder that tomorrow morning at 9:37, it's the equinox. And this is significant for us. Everything we have said here involves duality and balance and equilibrium within our very selves. So the time from the solstice in December, where the sun retired, it is its first dawning tomorrow. So be careful of how much you put yourselves out, flashing yourselves, your sound, your thing. You have to be in accordance with your totality of self, because with their messing around of the calendar and various things, they have abused spring, which is Oshun, you see? And it is the coming out, the first budding of ourselves that we are launching. And that first budding is from the seeds that we have lain over the past 3-4 months. And this means that we are putting in place what we want for the next year. Do not give it away. Do not let the Babylon come and eat your food. Pick the ripeness of your food that you have been developing before it is even full on. Do not expose yourself in this place like this. If you've seen the WhatsApp message, Jupiter, Mars, Saturn are in the same place tomorrow as they were in 1345 when they launched the what? The Black Death. Let them deal with the African straw man for themselves on that level, but we are not there. We are the real thing. We are the living DNA. Do not give it away. Harness it, hold it, be silent. That is the message from divine. That is the message from our ancestors. That is the message from our divine mothers.
I don't want you to spoke at all tomorrow.
You understand? This is what that equinox is a juju magic time that is done on our head every single year. And they have stopped us from beating drum. They have stopped us from using what we need to access our ancestors. They have stopped us from tuning. Who was it? Wasn't it Daniel? Who was it that said about the planets and the totality of the elements? They have prevented us from tuning to the river and the spirits of nature. Be serious with yourself. Take yourself seriously. If you're going to go and sit in that very key and important parents' meeting on Monday, don't bother to think that you think you're bad and you're flashing yourself all over this weekend and you're bringing something good on that day, because you won't. You'll be bringing whatever they're dumping on you, the Black Death. That is what is going to be launched this tomorrow, in case you didn't know. Take responsibility. It is your love that they have abused and used and is their fuel to the to the engine that they have used. You understand? Research it, go online, listen to good, bad, and ugly, whatever their color, whatever their shape, whatever their orientation. Find the message online. You understand? And know yourself, because tomorrow is your first dawning. The first sunlight that hits you is you connecting to that sun. We are sun people, children of the sun. And we have birthed children of the sun. So when you're meeting on Monday and you're talking about the children of the sun, I remember when Daniel said, how can we be sending our children to be taught by the ones that oppress them? Lions do not listen to sheep. Asheo.
Asheo.
Ashe,
Ashe.
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 Thank you, Sister Kasheni, thank you. Before I go on to call on Brother Royston for, I think the mango tree is on tomorrow. Brother Arthur, quickly, if you'd like to, I know it's by surprise, but let us know quickly about Monday. Also, this is Monday evening, just for an hour.
Yeah, so everybody that's out there, thanks for a great evening, first off. And she made me cry as well, so I don't mind admitting it. But don't forget, on Monday, we're trying to help as many of us as we possibly can, so that although all of the efforts that are being done here, raising consciousness is one of those most important things that we need to do as well. So I've developed a program called Method 1, the pyramid, and hopefully it will help those that have got dyslexia and just want to be able to communicate with yourself a little bit stronger and a little bit better without the confusion that we sometimes have and the doubts and all the rest of it. This will help to make you stronger and hopefully help to raise our consciousness, which is where we should be now, and we will reach the clouds. And like we've been told already by Daniel, we will be ruling soon. so join me on Monday evening for the first leg. I'm doing the module 1 is going to be totally free. The reason for this is that Auntie Jean will explain, and I'll explain on Monday, but just very, very quickly, the module 1 is free. I want you to all get that experience and just gain that little bit of foundation that hopefully will help you to want to take the 8 steps that I'm hoping will bring about a complete change in you and your direction in life, in order to bring about your purpose in a stronger and more demanding way.
Okay, thank you, Arthur. We might be tweaking the time a little bit. Daniel, what time is your session?
Our session is 6:30 in the evening till 8:30.
Until 8:30. Arthur, 8:30, a little bit after 8:30 start. Can that work?
Yeah, it's only for an hour. That's absolutely fine.
Okay, brilliant. All right, wonderful. So we'll all be
but
there.
That means I've got to get on to everybody and just let everybody know that.
Yeah, I'll send out the emails. All right. Okay. Give thanks. All right. And
thank you all.
You're welcome. And quickly on to Royston. Are you there?
I am.
Howdy.
Greetings all. Yeah, glorious evening. Warm glow all round. Good to see everybody. Thank you for all that's presented. Yeah, so tomorrow, Saturday, between 5 and 8 p.m., we continue under the mango tree. Big people talk, big people conversation. Sister Dr. Sandra Richards and myself will be there to support you. Come, bring, and chat about things that, that big people chat about. That time when we were small and the big people would talk and we come into the room and either they shoo us out or, they'll stop talking. Well, to acknowledge we're the big people now and we need to have those conversations in order to support one another and to support the generation. So you are very welcome to come and join us. To do so, please send me an email. If I've got your email already, then you would have received an invitation. If not, send me an email, put my email in chat, and I will send you the link. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow between 5 and 8. Thank you. One love.
Thank you. And with that, I'd like to say a big, big thank you to Marvina. Thank you for, as I said, an explosive start to what's going to be wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, thank you to Phoenix. Wonderful meeting you. And know so that we're going to be, as I said, working alongside each other, a lot more in the future, and looking forward to it. We're looking forward to you working along with the Garvey village. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Also to MisFit, wise head on young shoulders. Thank you so much, MisFit. And also Rochique. Thank you also, Rochique, for, as I said, coming out of your shell for the first time and using the Garvey platform for that. We are honored. We are truly honored to see more of that. Shez, have you got anything to say?
Ruth Brown.
Yeah, it's fantastic evening, and I'm looking forward for our monthly youth Zooms. So it's actually going to make me feel young again as well. So I know it's not about me, but yes, it's going to be something that I'm definitely looking forward to. I just wanted to say thank you for all the presenters. They was fantastic, and yeah, thank you, Phoenix as well, and yeah, Marvina, you've been an excellent hostess with the mostest. So thank you.
Thank you. And also a big, big thank you to Daniel Pink. And we're also looking forward to joining Daniel and the crew on Monday. And also a big, big thank you. As I said, we have to leave her till last, but not least, Ruth Brown. Absolutely wonderful. Every time I hear her sing, she brings tears to my eyes. Absolutely phenomenal. So big, big thank you to everybody who's joined us this evening. Hopefully you can join us tomorrow over underneath the mango tree. Auntie Jean's African Culture Market is on Sunday, also between 7 o'clock and 11, where we have Elder Vasco Stevenson, we have Elder Roots Doctor, and we have Queen Nzinga. So come and join us on Sunday. I'll be putting out the information out via email so that you can join us. Daniel.
Yes, join Auntie Jean, join them all, because you don't have to sit down and watch EastEnders and the damn foolish no more. You can sit down and watch something sensible. Come on, you don't even come out in the yard. Go and see Auntie Jean.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Wonderful.
Yes, thanks. Good thanks. Good thanks to everybody who's joined us this evening. I know you could have been doing a million one other things, and I'm just grateful and truly love the fact that you joined us this evening. And thank you to everybody. It's been amazing. It's been wonderful, and looking forward to next month. All right. Good thanks.
Thank you, everybody. It's been a really powerful evening. Gonna make me evening. Gonna make me night. Thank you very much.
Thank you. You
Give
made our
thanks.
night as
Give
well.
thanks. Give thanks. Inspiring.
Can you do
Give thanks.
redemption song while people are going? Do you
Very
mind?
inspiring.
Why are you calling me out like that? I don't sing. Okay.
Yeah, do your redemption song.
Yeah, that'll be beautiful. Yes.
As we're leaving, and Queen MisFit, you can join in. It's a nice way for us to go. Let's listen to redemption from you.
It'll be beautiful.
You ready? You are not ready, but I know you're ready. You know how I feel. You need to be ready for any time. Come on.
Don't put us on the spot like that.
You got this. You got it.
All right.
Old pirates, yes, they robbed I, sold I to the merchant ships. Minutes after they took I from the bottomless pit. But my hands were made strong by the hands of the Almighty. We forwarded in this generation triumphantly. Won't you help to sing these songs of freedom? All I ever had.
She's competing with you.
Redemption song. Wow, MisFit.
That's beautiful.
Redemption song.
These songs of freedom.
Not all joining on this song? Can we not all close out? All joining in on this song?
We can join
Yes, let's sing together as church
everybody
guys.
on mic and let loose.
Okay. Hey,
Are
I
you
don't know if
ready?
you want to hear my voice, so. Yeah.
It doesn't matter, or the ancestors already know. It's not about the voice, it's the message.
Okay.
You got that.
Okay.
It's not going to come out at the same level. I mean, we're all going to be coming out at different times, but yeah, we can all sing.
Let's do it.
Okay, then.
All sing.
Phoenix, you lead.
Yes.
Right, are we ready?
Yeah,
Yes, ready.
Emancipate yourselves from mental
mental
slavery. No
No
more
shackles can
free
free
our
our
minds.
minds.
Have no
Fear
fear
for
atomic
atomic
energy.
energy. 'Cause none
None
of
of
them
them
can
stop
stop
the
the
time.
time.
How long shall they kill our prophets? While
While
we
we
stand
stand
aside and
and
look.
look.
Yes, some say it's just
Just
a
a
part
part
of
of
it.
it.
We've
We've
got
got
to
to
fulfill
fulfill
the
The
Won't
Won't
you
you
help
help
to
to
sing
sing
these
these
songs
songs
of
of
freedom?
freedom? Is all
All I
I
ever
yeah.
redemption
Redemption
song.
You
song.
guys can sing.
Hey, thank you so much.
Redemption
Redemption
song.
Wow.
It was beautiful.
Oh, Baba, we're
Oh,
not
was
going
that
to
amazing?
walk. See a bonga. See a bonga, Baba. See a
Blessings to you
bonga.
all. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you
Uncle
all.
Arthur,
Thank
you
you.
can sing with Nando. Next time.
Please tell
we're getting
him.
you to single.
Please tell him again. Please tell him one more time.
He can single. We're starting our own Garvey choir soon. Well done. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you next time. And please keep sharing when you get the message. Share it out. Please, we want donations. You got the link. Make a donation. I do my monthly. You can do that. Let's make sure we keep this going. It's amazing. Thank you so much. We'll drop the link in there. But yeah, it's time to.
It's time to go.
Bye.
Good night, everybody on Facebook.
Good
I'm
night,
signing off
good
from
night,
Facebook. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Blessings and thanks.
Good night.
Love you, Phoenix. Love you, MisFit.
Yeah.
Love you, Ruth.
Beautiful.
Love you, all of you. Well done.
Good night, all.
Coming on.
Good night,
Love
all.
you all.
Good night, Survivor. Good
Good
night.
night. Good night.
Good night.
Good night. And
Good
God
night,
bless you
MisFit.
all.
Beautiful
Thank
having you. Good night.
Thank you
Good
so
night.
much. Good night.
Good night.
I'm beautiful. I think I smiled so much today. Like my
Yeah,
teeth
it was really nice. It's really nice. Signing off here. Good night.